Okay. Hopefully everything's working. Test. Checking. I think everything's good, hopefully. Yeah, it seems to be good. There's no music on the title screen right now, just ambient sounds and noises, but it should be fine. Hello, everybody. It's sounding good. Excellent. Glad to hear it. All right then. Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing? Thanks speaking for the friend request on Steam. I'll check it out when I have some time later. Yes, hello everybody. It is Friday, so happy Friday everybody. And today we are starting up a new playthrough of a not new game. In the fact that it's, you know, it came out in like the early 2000s. Also, it's not a new game to me because I've been playing this game for many a year. Also, here's the title of it in case you want to know that. Also, check out that aspect ratio. Wow. The actual game is in widescreen, don't worry. It's just the title screen and a few cutscenes that aren't. But yes, hello everybody. This is Ratchet Clank 3 Up Your Arsenal. Well, in PAL regions, for people like me, it's actually just called Ratchet Clank 3, but in other parts of the world it's called Ratchet Clank Up Your Arsenal. And usually I would just stick with the name that it is in my region, but I have some exceptions, like with Sly Cooper. I'd rather call it Sly Cooper and the Thievius Raccoonus instead of Sly Raccoon. And this game, the title Up Your Arsenal is too good to not use. So yeah, I want to do that. Also, it kind of sounds like British humor to me. I don't know why it's not the game's title in this in the UK. Oh well, whatever, it doesn't matter. But anyway, this is Ratchet & Clank 3 for all intents and purposes. Ratchet & Clank, in case you don't know, is a series of games that I really like. It's one of my favorite series of all time, second only to Kingdom Hearts being my number one. Ratchet & Clank is my second favorite series, depending on how I'm feeling at the time. It's either this or Sonic. It depends on how I feel. As of right now, I'd say probably Sonic is beating out Ratchet & Clank right now, just because Sonic is a lot more active these days, and Ratchet & Clank is, you know, in a bit of a drought. But, you know, it's still a series that's ongoing, and it's still a series that I care about a great deal. And I've just kind of been gradually going through all the games on stream. Last year, I played Ratchet & Clank 1 and Ratchet & Clank 2. And here I am with Ratchet & Clank 3, probably my favorite out of the original PlayStation 2 trilogy. Though, just for, you know, clarity, I am actually playing the PlayStation 3 remastered versions of these games. They're a bit buggier compared to the original PS2 versions, to be honest, and I'll get into some more specifics on that. But they are still in HD, widescreen, 60 FPS, all that good stuff, so I can kind of deal with the bugs. Obviously, it's not ideal. I would love it if they tried remastering these games again for modern platforms, but for now, this is the best I got. So yeah, I like this game a lot. We're going to get into it. Hopefully everything's working okay. If there's a problem with any of the sound or anything, let me know. I don't know what volume to set the game to, but we'll know once we get into the game proper. But hopefully everyone's doing alright. I don't know if my controller is charged. That's a problem. Is my controller charged up a good ways? I forgot to charge it beforehand. No, it's full. We're full. Okay, cool. I'll keep my charger ready just in case. My charger cable is really short, so I can't really charge and play at the same time. I'm buying Pandemonium for a select few people on my Discord server, and you are one of them, so that's why I asked you about Steam. Really? Interesting. Is there some kind of occasion? Some kind of special reason? Or is it just for fun? Or I don't know what Pandemonium is. I might have seen it somewhere, but the name on its own isn't really ringing familiar to me. I appreciate it. I hope it's not an expensive game. Kind of sounds like the name of an indie game, but I'm not too sure. It's appreciated either way. Yeah, hope everyone's doing okay. We're going to get into the game, so here we go. We're going to be starting a fresh new save file. I'm going to check out the options menu first. Let's throw on those subtitles. For some reason, Ratchet and Clank 2 did not have the subtitles, but only in my region in the world for some reason. Like the game did. Oh god, we're changing the freaking language. Like the game did have subtitles. It even had the subtitles option in the settings menu, but I couldn't access it because I don't know, I'm a Brit or something. like PAL regions don't have access to the subtitles for some reason, while other parts of the world do. It was so bizarre. I have no idea why it's like that. That's really dumb. If it's like like they can be bothered to change the way you spell color or something, and they didn't want it to be inaccurate, so like, oh, just get rid of the subtitles. It's fine. I'd rather have misspelt color than no subtitles at all, frankly. I'm joking. I don't think that's the actual reason. Whatever the reason is, it can't be. I'm sure it's a good one. Maybe, I don't know. Thankfully, this game does support subtitles. Freaking lovely. Okay, let's start a new game. And I'm gonna have to delete a save probably. Last time I played this game was back in 2021, apparently. That's actually not as long ago as I thought. I guess we'll be starting here. But yeah, this is my favorite Ratchet and Clank game from the original PS2 trilogy. And it's one of my favorite Ratchet and Clank games in general.
Oh yeah, I bet you didn't see that one coming. Hey, what are you doing?
Check and mate.
What? That's cheating.
On the contrary.
I like how they're in their penthouse from the second game. I like the continuity.
Ooh, it is on again.
I feel like I'm really close to my microphone. I want to scooch back a little bit. Also, Clank has a TV show now.
Your luck is extraordinary.
It's a vital plot point.
But do you lose as gracefully as you win?
No special reason, just grateful to people who support me, and I think it's right up your alley. It's a PS1 platformer. Interesting. I like platformers. It's nice of you to think of me. I really appreciate it. I'll definitely give it a look then. I mean, I've got no reason to not. Interesting. Is it like actually from the PS1, or is it just a PS1 inspired kind of game? Because I know that there are plenty of indie games that like to recreate the PS1 kind of look. Like, was it actually on the PS1? Not that I mind either way. I think both is. It is a PS1 game. Interesting. Okay, cool. I haven't played that many PS1 games, to be honest. It was like, when did the PS1 come out? A bit before me, I think.
Great. Change the channel.
I was always about the PS2 when I was little. Some of my earliest memories. Hence why I'm into Ratchet and Clank in Kingdom Hearts now.
Coverage from Veldin. Just hours ago, the planet was attacked without warning by a terrifying alien race known as the Tyrannoids.
The game will be widescreen in a bit, by the way. It's just like some of the intro cutscenes are 4:3.
Is the mastermind behind the Tyrannoid attack. As you can see, the Galactic Rangers are putting up a valiant fight, but they are
1994? Crap, I thought it was. I didn't think it was that early on. I thought it was like later 90s.
Channel 64 News.
We've got some frickin'
We're going home.
Mike Wazowski's terrorizing the world.
Is in a Solana galaxy. Oh,
Yeah, so we're going back to the galaxy from the first game, which is neat. This game is very, do you remember that the first game exists? Because it likes to throw in references to the first game, like, everywhere. Not that I mind, I love the first game. It was before me too, I'm 1997. Ah, I see.
You were saying?
I stand corrected.
I just hope we're not.
I mean, I have played a few PS1 games. I did play the original PS1 version of Spyro the Dragon before the Reignited trilogy came out. I think that's about it though. I think that's like the only like actual PS1 game I've ever played that isn't a remake. So I don't know. I think the PS1 does have a really charming look. Oh wait, I want the help desk. There we go.
Client 91802, and welcome back to the Solana Galaxy.
Okay, I don't. I've said this before. I don't need the tutorials pop-ups, and you do have the option to turn them off in the options menu. But I do just really love the sound of her voice, so I like to keep it on. Also, I gotta invert that. I gotta change that camera. Hold on. For some reason, the left and right is inverted by default, but the up and down is also inverted by default. I like my horizontal cameras inverted, but my up and down I want left normal. Is that weird? I've been told that's weird. I don't know. Anyway, so this is Ratchet Clank 3. I think I might be able to get away with upping the game's volume a little bit. I don't know. If the game ever gets too loud and it's difficult to hear me, do let me know, and I'll adjust it as soon as I can. Yes, this is Ratchet Clank 3. So in case I was talking a little bit over that intro cutscene, basically the plot as we know it so far is that after the events of the second game, Ratchet and Clank are just kind of chilling, doing their thing. And an alien race has invaded Ratchet's original home planet of Veldin, and now we're here to go put a stop to it. That is the plot as we know it currently. And there's like an evil scientist that is supposedly the one behind it. So that's the dealio. Also, should I maybe like, is there, like the effects are like crazy loud. Is that what it's supposed to be? Like the sound effects, I can't hear the gosh diddly dang music. I don't usually like tampering with volume controls, but anyway. So yeah, we are back in Veldin. This is the planet that you start at the beginning of the first game. And something that this game really likes to do is remind you that the first game exists. It's very odd because this game likes to... this game takes place in the same galaxy as the first game. You revisit a lot of the same planets from the first game, though the level design isn't. They didn't just copy and paste the level design or anything. You know, the planets are the same, but the actual level design is different. Yeah, this game just really likes to be like, hey, remember the first game? a lot of like characters from the first game show up again, and it's very strange because it feels like they're like trying to like do a lot of nostalgia for the first game, even though by the time this game released, the first game was only a couple years old. So it's just a little bit odd. But hey, I don't mind because I love the first game. I played it a lot. It's probably why I like this game as much as I do. Also, the music's freaking cool.
These must be the Galactic Rangers.
Hey, look! It's a new sergeant!
Huh?
Hey, Sarge, you can have my gun.
Cool, free weapon.
Too many of them. We're all gonna die!
Okay.
Circle to fire your shock blaster.
Anyway, so yeah, earlier last year I played through both Ratchet and Clank 1 and Ratchet and Clank 2. Very casual playthroughs, much like this one. And forgive me if I have a habit of, like, you know, talking too much and explaining things about the game and, you know, waffling on about this and that and minor details and stuff. It's just how I do. It's how I have fun. So I'll be playing in much the same way, I'm sure. But, first of all, I'm going to turn my fan down because it's freaking cold in here. Yeah, here we go. So, we've got access to our first weapon.
Reverse the camera control.
Yeah, I know. We got access to our first weapon. What's this one called again? The shock blaster. It's basically like, I don't know what the equivalent of a real life gun would be. Like a shotgun, it's like blah, that kind of gun. It's like one that you go like blah. I think the second game had a gun like this. I don't remember. Anyway, this gun is really cool. The only downside is that its usefulness kind of wears off after a while. It's a you know, the thing that plagues Ratchet and Clank games a lot is that a lot of the weapons that you get at the beginning of the game become really bad later on. Well, not bad, but like they get very easily outclassed later on, and the damage doesn't really scale up super well. And this is one of those weapons. It's pretty good for now, and it's a lot of fun, honestly. I really like weapons like this. It's a pretty common weapon type in these games where you know, the usual kind of guns that you can expect in each Ratchet and Clank game. You're obviously going to have like a shotgun of some kind like this one. You'll have like a rocket launcher or like a bomb. You'll have like a basic blaster, that kind of thing. So weapons like this that go like blap, pretty common. But they're a ton of fun. I really just like the sound design on it. It's kind of got like this kaboom kind of vibe to it. Also, I like the little like, you know, little reload animation Ratchet does when he uses it. It's pretty fun.
Am I glad to see you,
I can't tell if
Sergeant?
the sound effects are too loud or not.
Somebody's gotta take it out.
Let me guess. That somebody is me.
We got a volunteer. Here, Sarge, take this. We'll cover you.
Another free gun.
Back there.
Try using the nitro launcher against that vehicle.
And speak of the devil, we have our typical bomb weapon. Again, another weapon that's useful now, but will get very outclassed later on, but it's fine. It's just how it works. So, a few things to say about this game in comparison to the first and second game, mainly the second game. So this game is very similar to the second game in a lot of ways, but a few things. This game is a lot more linear compared to the second game. I mean, all the games are linear, but this one especially is even more so. Also, this game compared to the first two, because like the first two games were very much 3D platformers with shooter action mechanics and stuff like that. This game kind of flips it around where it's more of an action shooter with platformer mechanics. So the platforming and puzzle solving aspects of the games kind of takes a backseat in this one, and it hones in a lot more on the action, which isn't like bad or good really, it just depends on your taste. I personally really like it. I don't necessarily sway more one way or the other. But I do really enjoy the action, and this game introduces certain features and mechanics that will become staples later on. One of which is where are those bolts coming from? What the hell? One of which being the way that weapons upgrade in this game. So weapon upgrading was something that was introduced in the first game technically, where you could buy upgrades with golden bolts, but the second game introduced the upgrade system as we know it today, where weapons upgrade as they're used in a typical RPG-esque experience points fashion. This game also retains that basic upgrade system, except in Ratchet 2, weapons only upgraded once. You use them, you level them up, and then they're at their second stage, essentially. They evolve, kind of like Pokemon. In this game, weapons level up to 5 times, and each level, and they level up a lot quicker as well to compensate for the fact that there's 5 levels now. Which basically means that you're always going to be expanding your weapons and your arsenal, you could say. Which is cool, I actually really like that. And this is kind of the format that they continue for the series even today, where your weapons level up to 5 times. That's still something that's how it works today. And I like it. It's good. It's good stuff. But yeah, the levels in this game have a lot less split pathways, and it's a lot more just go through this level essentially and kill everything in your way. Which is fine, because the action in these games is fun. And we'll get access to many more weapons as you do, each of them with their own destructive capabilities. And it's all fun and games. I hope the volume's been okay so far. It feels like it might be a little bit loud for me, but I don't know if that's going to be the case for you. I'll up it a little bit actually, just in case. As long as it doesn't get too loud, we should be fine. It feels like the game is very noisy. It feels like this is a very busy game in terms of sound for me. But yeah, we are on planet Veldin, which is the starting planet from the first game, though the music is completely different. I actually really like this music track. I feel like Ratchet Clank 1 probably has one of my favorite soundtracks in the series. I don't know why, but the music in the first game is probably just the most catchy to me. Could be nostalgia, because I played the first game a hell of a lot. Though, This game has some really good tunes as well.
Your maximum nanotech level has increased.
Oh yes, and we upgrade ourselves as well. That works the same way as it did in the first game as well, where you also level up your own HP when you defeat a certain amount of enemies, in a similar way to you level up your weapons. But it's just from defeating enemies in general. Though instead of having your health be represented with a bunch of little segments, this time it's a lot more simple. It's just your typical health bar with you know, a number value. So it's a lot easier to read, really, and a lot easier to tell how much damage you're taking. I think that's how, like, the norm going forward as well, that it's kind of just represented by a health bar instead of it being divided into little segments. It's just a lot easier to read at a glance as to how much health you have and how much damage you're taking. So those guys are taking my kills. Also, first, like, hey, remember the first game reference? This area we're in currently is actually the very starting area of the first game. This is where, like, one of the first cutscenes take place. This is, like, Ratchet's garage. You start the game, you're, like, around here in the first game, and then you have to go over there and across that bridge, although it is destroyed now. So that's a shame. I think this is the last time that Planet Veldin is in this series, aside from the movie tie-in game. I might be wrong on that. I think that's the case, though. I'm probably going to be reiterating a lot of stuff I said in my other playthroughs of the first two games. But, the way I like to play these games is to try and level up my weapons as much as I can. So, like, you can use the wrench to destroy enemies as well, which saves you ammo, but that's kind of throwing XP into the wind, because your weapons only level up if you defeat enemies with them. So using the wrench kind of wastes XP that could be going towards your weapon. So I like to use weapons as much as I can. I only really use the wrench for, like, destroying crates and stuff. But I like to make sure that my weapons get all an equal amount of attention and lovin's. Even weapons that I don't like, I have, like, it's like kind of like an OCD thing where I just want all my weapons to level up, even the ones that I don't like. So even if I don't like the weapon very much, I'll still force myself to use it just so that I can, you know, level it up and have the satisfaction of leveling up, I guess. Anyway, we've got to meet with the president. Because yes, the president is a thing in this game.
Get back in there, trooper. We've got a planet to save.
Oh, we got some arena? No, not arena, like, got some, like, combat missions. Yeah, so this game also introduces these kind of, like, combat missions where you team up with the Rangers to defeat a bunch of enemies. It's never anything too more complex than simply take on the enemies and defeat them all. Sometimes you gotta defend a base or take out a certain thing or whatever, but it's almost always just, you know, defeat all the enemies. Which is fine. Oh, one of them died. Also, I think this was the game that introduced skydiving. I don't know if the previous games had that. I don't know if the other two games had skydiving as a thing, but this game introduces skydiving, or free-falling, or halo jumping, whatever you want to call it. It's not really anything special, really, it's just more of a little visual hullabaloo, basically. Going from the second game to the third game, it becomes noticeable that they touched up the controls a little bit. Like Ratchet feels just a little bit snappier to control. And there's like a few smaller little tweaks to how he moves around. Like for instance, Ratchet's double jump is a lot more powerful. I don't know how to explain it. His double jump is a lot better in this game, in the sense that it makes him go up higher. The downside to this is that it does kind of make Clank's high jump obsolete, because Ratchet's double jump kind of jumps the same height now. So so Clank's helipack upgrades don't really matter as much in this game. Especially because this game doesn't really have all that much platforming going on, so Clank isn't really all that useful for mobility in this one. You can still use his mobility moves and stuff, and they can be helpful, like stretch jumping can get you around a little bit faster. Yeah, for the most part, Clank's helipack is not all that useful in this one. Also, one nice little tweak is the fact that by attacking in midair, you could do this hyper strike, I think it's called, or comet strike. I forget what it's called. It's a downward slam attack. One subtle change is that if you do a stretch jump with a helipack, you can do one of these strikes. You couldn't do that before. You could only do it from jumping normally. So that's a nice little change. It doesn't really affect a ton, but it just makes the game feel a little bit tighter, you know? I'm gonna use my bombs. We gotta go meet with the president.
We have a transmission from the president.
How are things on the front lines, soldier? Is that secret agent Clank?
Greetings, sir.
I don't know why, but I find the word, just the simple word, president, really funny. I don't know why.
Hold on a second, sir.
Agent Clank, we must stop Dr. Nefarious. As you may know, only one man has ever faced him and survived. I've just received a top secret report on that man's whereabouts. Here, take a look.
On tonight's episode of Nature's Mysteries, we examine the Florana tree beast. Deep in the dense growth of Florana's Jambu forest lives a mysterious creature. Or maybe he doesn't. It's one of nature's mysteries.
This is where we're getting our crazy intel.
He was buck naked, screaming and holding a banana. Or maybe it weren't a banana. It could be.
One of nature's mysteries.
I never got that joke when I was little until someone explained it to me.
Is actually one of the greatest superheroes who ever lived. Shamed by his recent past, he is
I wonder who that is.
one of nature's mysteries. Tune in and find out the answer.
Rated R starts Friday.
We need you to find this man. The fate of the galaxy may depend on it.
Are you sure this is the guy you're looking for, Mr. President? Yeah, he seems like kind of a, wacko.
You may be right, but he's the best chance we've got. I know you boys won't let me down.
You can count on us, sir.
Something about this game is that it's a lot sillier compared to the first two, and the first two games were already pretty silly. Well, I don't know. The first two games' humor was very, I don't know, subtle, minimal. Well, this game kind of goes all out on the silliness. Really, there's a lot of like humor in this one, which I kind of like, honestly. Apparently, I'm not positive, but apparently this was the first Ratchet Clank game that was written by actual writers. I believe the first two games, the dialogue and stuff was just written by, I don't know, the devs or something, just, stuff like that. I think they actually hired real writers to write this game's plot, which is pretty interesting. And honestly, it kind of shows, because it again, with the up in humor. And the game itself is very silly, the whole plot. It's not trying to take itself seriously at all. It's not supposed to be serious. I don't know, I appreciate it. Also, we can buy a new weapon, the Plasma Whip. This weapon is really cool, actually, at least on the surface.
Hold R1 and press circle.
It's a whip. It basically functions the same as Ratchet's wrench, where you can use it to... You can whip it around. You can also throw it. I find it works best when you throw it, so you can get more hits in that way. And it's kind of cool. It's a weapon where its coolness definitely outweighs its actual usefulness, because this is a weapon that gets outclassed really early on. Like, it's kind of useful for dealing with swarms of smaller enemies like these bugs here, which is probably why it becomes available now. But later in the game, when you're fighting all sorts of crazy enemies, this weapon is going to be really detrimental.
Your controller can be configured with multiple button maps, including a map that places the fire command on R1. To change to a different button map, press Start, then enter the Options menu and select Controls.
Thank you. I've said in the past that I want to be a tutorial character in a video game one day. Or, you know, not even in a video game, in real life. I'll settle for being a tutorial for real life, somehow. Boy, would I just want to be like a help desk person. like the help desk tutorial people in these games is like what I aspire to be. It's a weird dream, I know. Also, I mean, one thing is that the more the help desk explains stuff, the less I get to. We just grabbed a jackpot crate. It's a new crate type added in this game that basically... Well, she just explained it, didn't she? It multiplies the bolts you get for a limited time by ×2. Again, it works only for a limited time. I don't think the multiply bolt crate is something that really catches on after this game all that much. I think Tools of Destruction has the multiply power-up, but I don't think any other games really have it past that point. This game also introduces another crate type, which is also exclusive to this game because I guess it never caught on. But we'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to blow you up now. So I've got to fight an Oogly Boogly. Also, the help desk lady mentioned something about changing my control types. Camera mode, first person mode. I want that inverted, hold on. Lock strafe mode, third person mode, first person mode, lock strafe. Yeah, I don't know. I'll just stick with the normal first person mode. Whoa! Actually, what's the first person mode like? I don't think I've ever tried it. Wow. So you can play this game like a first person shooter if you desire. Why would you want to do that? I don't know, but I'm sure people have done videos on it. Most likely. The reason they probably included a first-person mode is probably because I think, like, first-person shooters were getting big around the time, maybe? I don't know. One thing's for sure is that this game, while I'm not going to be able to, like, show it in this playthrough, A, because I don't care, and B, because... it's probably not working anymore, most definitely. Is this game was the first Ratchet Clank game to introduce a multiplayer mode. The whole multiplayer mode thing didn't really catch on with the series very much, even though you'd think it would.
Your weapon is upgraded. Weapons upgrade automatically when they're used frequently.
Yeah, I already explained that, lady.
To charge up the shock blaster for a more powerful attack.
So we got our first weapon upgrade. So weapons upgrade automatically as they're used in this game, just like the second game. But this game also introduces a feature where certain level ups will also give that weapon certain perks. The second game also had perks as well, but those were ones you had to purchase with a separate currency. In this game, the extra perks are included with the level ups themselves. Stuff like the ability to lock on, or to charge up an extra powerful blast in this case, so you can hold the button down to charge up and then do a powerful blast. Also, hi there, Natsu. I'm also 97. I assume you mean 1997, not actual age 97. If you are actually 97 years old, then you're like really, really good at video games for that age. Although then again, I'm sure that, you know, age doesn't matter. I meant age almost to the great beyond. No! That's really upsetting. You have so much left to teach us. You have so much to learn from you. I'm always lurking. Yeah, I think you're going to live to be at least 150, I'm sure. I hope the volume on the game has been okay so far. It's a little bit loud in my ears, but for some reason the game's always louder in my ears. I could turn the volume down on my end a little bit, I guess. But I do want to be able to hear the music, though. Also, for some reason on the options menu, the sound effects are higher volume than the music. That's the default, so I assume it's made that way for a reason. If the sound effects ever feel too loud in this game, let me know, because it's kind of hard for me to tell. Then again, I get paranoid over volume levels, so could just be a me thing. But the music in this game is good, why would I not want to listen to it? Whoops, I fell. Oh, never mind. I meant to do that. I totally meant to fall there. So yeah, this game has the collectible big bolts again, like the first two games, although the first game had gold bolts, the second game had platinum bolts, and this game has titanium bolts. It doesn't really matter what they're called, though they do different things in this game. Honestly, the use for the big bolts in this game is probably the less interesting of the three games. In the first game, you could use the big gold bolts to purchase upgraded weapons, but because weapons upgrade as they're used in this game, that's not really a thing anymore. In Ratchet Clank 2, you could use the big bolts to purchase mods for your weapons, like lock-on mods or shock mods or stuff like that. But since that is incorporated into this game's basic level-up system, that's not really a thing anymore. So instead, this game uses the big bolts to purchase skins. You can get skins in this one. I mean, I think skins were a thing in the other games as well, but this is what the bolts are used for now. So, not really anything special. Some of these skins are kind of interesting, I guess. You got this sumo one, that's kind of weird. Yeah, it's nothing that actually changes the game in any way. I'd rather not live that long. Can't imagine the pain I'd be in. Yeah, that sounds kind of... does sound indeed very frightening. Whoa! You could plant your brain into a robot's body, though. And then you can live forever as a robot. Okay, here's the other new crate type they added in this game. This is the Inferno crate. The tutorial voice will probably explain it in a minute, but I'm gonna explain it anyway. It basically gives, I don't know if it gives you invulnerability for a limited amount of time. What it does though is that it gives you 2 wrenches so you can dual wield. And it also makes it so that your wrench kills stuff in 1 hit. For a limited amount of time. A very limited amount of time. But they're worth picking up. Actually, I'm going to ignore it. Because while using the Inferno crate, you're encouraged to use your wrench and only your wrench, and I explained earlier that I don't like killing enemies with the wrench because it means taking away XP from my weapons. I will grab it just to show it though.
Your armor and wrench attack have been greatly increased for a limited time.
Okay, so I don't think it makes you invulnerable, but it does increase your defense, I guess. So you got 2 wrenches, they're on fire, and you can basically one-shot most enemies, really. It's a very limited amount of time that you can use it, though. Yeah, like that limited. You're intended to grab it and then go into this combat room. I would rather defeat them with my weapons to get that XP. Yeah, like I can manage. Oh yeah, Ratchet has a new outfit in this game, a new default outfit. We can still purchase armors as we go through, but I'm not going to be doing that, and I'll explain that later. But yeah, Ratchet's starting outfit in this game is basically the exact same one from the second game, but recolored to be grey instead of green. I always thought that was kind of funny. I don't know, I guess he just wanted a little change up, wanted a little different color. I think they changed the color of the crates in this game. I think the crates in the first two games were a bit lighter, or at least in the first game they were. I thought there was a collectible here for me to grab. Around here, I think. Here we are. Yes, okay. This game has these secret little trophies. I don't know if they do anything. I don't remember if they do anything if you collect them all. I think they're mainly just little trinkets. You can they are displayed, so you can look at them later, but some of them are awarded for doing certain things, and others, like this one, are just simply found. So we've got the Ratchet trophy. They're very, you know, just like whatever little collectibles. Pick them up if you want. Yeah. Again, I don't really think you get much out of it. I think maybe you get like some kind of special little extra thing if you get them all, but I don't really think that's important. Oh, cool, we're like Tarzan. This planet is really giving me Star Wars vibes. It's very, very Endor from, you know, Episode 6. We're gonna see like the little bear people or whatever. And I don't know if they're I don't know, what are they called? Ewoks? I don't remember exactly. Apparently, I don't know. Apparently, they were a little bit not controversial, but like mixed when that movie first came out. But I thought they were really cute, so you know. I wonder if this place was inspired by Star Wars, though. It definitely feels like it. Considering that this game is like, a lot of this game's humor is there's like a good few parodies in this game. So it wouldn't surprise me if this was like very obviously supposed to be inspired by Star Wars. Okay, we made it.
Ratchet, we have company.
Where?
Behind you.
Where?
Behind you.
It's a monkey.
Very funny. You having a good time?
But it's an alien monkey. You can tell because it has only one eye. Apparently, like, thousands of years into the future, monkeys have devolved to only have one eyeball. Like, having one eye, you know, makes you slightly more visually impaired than having two, right? They've all become Wazowski-ified. Anyway, I can't afford the frickin' pew 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 gun. Anyway, we've got to walk the path of death or something. It's just a little obstacle course. Nothing crazy. Ow! I don't think I've died yet, and I'm now realizing that I'm very close to dying, so I should probably avoid that. In terms of difficulty, I don't know if I would say this game is particularly difficult. I'm not too sure if I really remember. I recall the second game feeling more difficult than this one when I played it when I was younger, but I don't really know if that's still the case. We got a titanium bolt. Gonna jump this, hold on. Also probably very evident, but Ratchet Clank likes to dabble in color coding their games. A lot of series do this, like in a Persona-esque fashion. They don't really color code their games all that much anymore. But this game's color scheme is all about that orange, in case that wasn't clear. You look at all this orange. Honestly, I'm not too into the orange look, if I'm being honest. If I'm being honest about the orange. I preferred the blue from the second game a bit more to the orange in this one, but it's fine. Doesn't matter really. It'd be cool if you could customize the UI colors, but that's kind of a big ask, I think. Okay, I'm still dying. Oh crap, I'm not getting this. Oh my god, okay, here we go. God, I'm really cold in this room today. I mean, I have my fan on, so that'd probably be why. And I should turn my fan off, but I'm gonna not do that. For very vague reasons. Anyway, hello. Hi there, Tiago, how you doing? Asking for UI customization sounds humanoid enough. Everyone's having a good time zone. Sure, I'm doing alright. Hope everyone else is doing good. I'm playing Ratchet Clank 3. It's a favorite of mine. Ratchet Clank Up Your Arsenal, you could also say. Where I just bought a new weapon. This is the no, crap, I can't read. The N60 Storm. It's an overly complicated name for it. It's essentially a blaster. This is this game's typical blaster weapon. It's usually like the first weapon you get in these games, but it's for some reason like the fourth. This one's very simple. You just point and shoot. It's a gun that goes pew pew pew. What more do you want?
Not be.
Okay, we walked your path of death. Now, tell us what you know about Dr. Nefarious.
Who?
Dr. Nefarious! They say you're the only man to ever beat him.
Who?
This guy's even dumber than...
Captain Quark?
Yeah, Captain Quark!
And the saga of Captain Quark continues.
You've had this coming for a long time.
I played Ratchet Clank 3 for the PS2 way back in the day. Oh, cool. So this is one of my favorite games. I like it a lot. I don't know if this is this is my #1 Ratchet Clank game. It might be. Honestly, this game is definitely in my top 3, but those top 3 Ratchet Clank games can alternate at a drop of a hat, so... It's either... My favorite Ratchet Clank games is either this one, A Crack in Time, or Rift Apart. I honestly could not choose between the 3, it's really difficult. I could choose this one just purely on nostalgia, because I played this one a lot. So if I absolutely had to pick one, I'd probably go for this one. Also, wow, you suck at fighting. Just got a little crappy little boomerang. Funny enough, it was my first and probably most played Ratchet & Clank game. Really? Have you played many of them? I don't know if this is something that's come up before. I was under the impression that none of my regular viewers were really into Ratchet & Clank, which is why it took me so long to really play these games on stream, because I didn't think anyone would really be into it, but then I decided I don't care and I wanted to play them anyway. Also, I'll never know if I don't try, I suppose. And you're dead.
So, Quark is completely...
But this is most likely due to how long it took me to beat it back in the day, and the amount of time spent playing the co-op mode with friends and family. Really? You played the multiplayer? I never played the multiplayer mode. I don't think I had, like, the internet attachment thing for the PS2. And the PS3 version I don't think I really played. I'm not really into multiplayer games, but I can see why they tried to do that in this one. What's with Sasha? I like this character.
Yeah, we got him, but...
She is the Ratchet's love interest of this game. Every couple of games he gets a new one. I played this one and the remake remaster of the first one. I mean, you're referring to the PS4 game, right? It's not actually a remake or a remaster, really. It's actually a movie tie-in game, but the reason it's so similar to the first game is because the movie is based on the first game, but the game that's based on the movie is not necessarily a remake of the first game, even though it kind of feels like it at times. It's confusing. The story is pretty different and stuff like that. But you know, I get what you mean. For the sake of ease, calling it a remake is easy. The rest have only kept up through YouTube videos and stuff. Oh, I didn't have the internet thing. I played it local, so split screen. Oh, right, okay.
Even a Gadgetron VG9000 game system.
A VG9000?
Of course. With a Mavix Fireball Pro controller, VR headset.
What the hell is that controller? It doesn't even have a touchpad.
Will you marry me?
Well, you've obviously had an exhausting trip. Why don't you stop by your quarters?
That makes sense. Yeah, I never played the multiplayer in this game, so this game did introduce a multiplayer mode. I never played it, so I don't exactly know how it worked, but as far as I can tell, it was a typical kind of PvP shooter kind of thing. Taking over bases, defeating enemies, that sort of thing. I don't know if it ever really caught on. I don't know if it was ever a big deal. By the time I played this game for the first time, the multiplayer was already long dead, so I wouldn't have really been into it anyway. But I imagine it could be a lot of fun. I never played the split screen multiplayer mode really because I didn't have anybody who wanted to play with me. Like I most likely probably tried to convince my twin to play with me, but they weren't into it. So I mean, they like Ratchet Clank, but they're not really interested in playing it. But yeah, the movie game that you mentioned. So yeah, a lot of people, it's like a pretty easy misconception to assume it's a remake. It's not really, though it kind of is. It's kind of like a half thing. It's because the movie is based on the first game, though it's not the exact same story as the first game. It's just like kind of inspired by it. And then the movie game is obviously directly based on the movie, so that's why they kind of recreate a lot of areas from the first game just for the sake of it. But it is not really a remake. I still think a remake of the first 3 Ratchet and Clank games is something that could potentially happen. I would like for it to happen at least. Just at the very least, so we can have these games on modern systems. Because good lord, I have to like dig up the PS3 every time I want to play these. Also, I don't know if it ever caught on. Sorry to yeah. I mean, I think they leaned into the combat arena gameplay with the next game after this one. The next game, Ratchet and Clank game that I'll be playing after this one is Ratchet Gladiator, or Ratchet Deadlocked outside of the UK, which is a game that basically takes the combat arenas from this game and makes a full game out of it. And it's pretty fun. I've only ever played Deadlocked once, but I did like it, so I'd be interested to play it again. I think they also did attempt some other multiplayer features and modes here and there throughout the series, but nothing ever seemed to really catch on. I think they did, there's a game called Ratchet and Clank Q-Force, which is like a tower defense multiplayer kind of game. I don't think that ever caught on either. So this series has tried doing multiplayer stuff here and there, but it doesn't seem like it's really this series thing. So they haven't really tried doing anything like that in a long time. Anyway, we are here on Starship Phoenix. This is kind of like a hub world of sorts, which is something the series doesn't do very often. But this is basically a base where we'll be coming back to pretty often. And they've got some facilities. They've got the Gadgetron vendors, which is available everywhere, to be fair. They've also got the armor vendor, so we can purchase armor sets. I believe this is the only place where you can purchase armor. In the second game, you could find armor vendors all over. But in this game, this is the only place where you can purchase. Which is fair enough, gives you a reason to come back. Also, do we get our discount now? Ah, we do. This is really cool. So this game has a employee discount. It's actually a really cool tie-in with the first game. So this game is very heavy on the references to the first Ratchet Clank game. In the first Ratchet Clank game, there was a point later in the game's third act where where Ratchet gets hired by Gadgetron to film a advertisement for hoverboards. But he's told that he doesn't actually get the special employee discount, which I believe is about 10% off, until he's been an employee for 2 years. This game came out 2 years after the first game, so if you have the save file from the first game, you actually get that 10% discount on weapons, and I'm going to redeem that right now. Checking my hard disk for save data. Hopefully it actually recognizes it, because it'd be awkward if it didn't. Is it no good? Oh, there we go. Our records show that at one time you have been employed by Gadgetron. We're pleased to give you a 10% discount on all Gadgetron weapons. Thank you for making your choice, Gadgetron. And we also got a new skin, which I will be using. Can you visit the game thing? The video game inside the video game? Oh, right, the vid comics? Well, those we have to do in order to progress. I don't think we've unlocked it yet, but I think we will in a bit. It's like the 2D side-scroller mini-games. I actually think those are pretty fun. I actually quite like them. But yeah, so if you have the save data from the first game, at a point in the game where you get the Gadgetron discount, you actually get the Gadgetron discount, which gives you 10% off on all weapons in the game, which is super cool. Also, there's a VR. This game also incorporates a VR testing arena, so you can press square to test out the weapons before you purchase them, which is another really nice little feature. I don't know if they ever bring this back, actually. I think this might be the only game that does this, which is weird, because it makes a lot of sense. Anyway, we also got a special skin. Because I have a save data from the first game, we unlock the old school Ratchet skin, which is basically Ratchet's design from the first game. I'm going to be using it for a couple reasons. This does mean that any armor sets that I purchase, we won't be able to see for as long as I'm using this outfit. But the reason I'm using this outfit is because, one, nostalgia. And two, because I'm playing the PS3 version of this game, and as I said before, the PS3 versions of these games are quite a bit buggier than the PS2 versions. They're still in HD and 60 FPS widescreen, all that stuff, so there's that. But one particularly irritating bug is the fact that Ratchet's helmet hovers above his head in every single cutscene that isn't pre-rendered. So in every cutscene, Ratchet's helmet is hovering above his head, and it's really distracting and weird and annoying, and I don't like it. So if I'm using this skin, Ratchet isn't wearing a helmet, so that glitch won't be a thing. So it will it helps to not take me out of the moment a little bit. Speaking of armor, is there any available for purchase? There is, but I can't afford it because I'm broke. Cross-game continuity, neat. Yeah, I really like it. I like the series does have attention to continuity, because it's not like this series is super lore plot heavy, at least not at this point. It's not like Kingdom Hearts where you have to play like all the games in order to really get everything. For the most part you can jump in anywhere, but this game does get a lot more lore heavy once it hits the HD era. Like the PS2 games are very much like cartoony villain of the week kind of games, where you could jump in anywhere really. But there is still a very strong effort to maintain the continuity and reference all the games, which I do appreciate. This is the trophy room.
Whenever a crew member is awarded a Medal of Honor, it is displayed here.
So yeah, I think that there is this little door here, which I think is locked.
I'm sorry, that area is restricted. You don't have access yet.
I think this door opens up once we collect every trophy. I think the door leads to the Insomniac Museum, I don't remember, but we got this Ratchet trophy. It's like low poly PS1 looking Ratchet. If Ratchet were on the PS1.
These are your quarters. I set up the VG9000 to play vid comic discs.
Got the VG9000 sick. Also, it's a banana. Munch. I hope the volume's been okay so far. The game might be a bit loud or a bit quiet. It's hard for me to tell.
Galactic superhero can be very stressful.
Yeah. Anyway, you're telling me this nutcase is our only hope for stopping Nefarious? We're hosed.
Neat. Man, Captain Quark is a character that is very prominent in this series. He shows up in almost every game.
This is the VG.
I mean, even when he isn't present in a game, he still somehow makes some kind of cameo, at the very least. It's funny because he was the main antagonist of Ratchet Clank 2, though he was a surprise twist villain that only got revealed at the end. And this game is very upfront about who the villain is. And there's no like real twist with him. The villain's objective is made clear pretty early on, and he is the villain through and through. They don't try and do like a mystery this time. It's funny because Captain Quark was the main antagonist technically of the second game, although he worked in the background. And it's funny because apparently he wasn't supposed to be originally. But they realized when writing the second game that they just really liked his character and thought he was funny, so they brought him back, and they just kept bringing him back. He was kind of treated as like one of the fundamentals of the series at a certain point, where it's just we gotta have Captain Quark in the game, which is interesting. Anyway, so these are our quarters. We have the game system here, but we don't have any video games to play it on, which is terrible. Also, is this remote control see-through, or is that just perspective? I think it's just perspective. Also, why do video game consoles look like radios in the future? It kind of looks like a little green radio. Also, the future game consoles are going to have antenna for some reason.
Great.
So they can sync up with the mothership or something. Because science, yes, it's the miracle. Maybe we should be attaching antennas to our consoles.
You can disable help messages in the options menu.
I don't know what possible like benefit we could get from giving consoles antennas. I don't know what possible features we could get from that, but I don't know. Don't knock it till you try it.
Signal. Try boosting the power.
Isn't that the president?
They came out of nowhere. Tyrannoid invasion force. Presidential compound has been breached. Cannot hold out much longer here.
It's Mr. President.
Dad, are you there?
Dad?
I find the president so funny. I don't know why. Also, surprise! It's the villain. Yeah, so this was the game that introduced Dr. Nefarious, who is probably the series' most popular and reoccurring antagonist. Up until this point, every game had a different antagonist, but Dr. Nefarious kind of becomes the series' go-to. He's kind of like the Eggman of this series, although he doesn't show up in every game. Just most of them. Maybe that's the secret to super fast internet speed and zero latency in online games. That'd be great. We could play Super Smash Bros. Without the latency.
Plot a course from
Also, I
Arcadia.
appreciate
Maximum
the
speed.
sign
Prepare
language.
the dropship for planetary
I
assault.
guess.
We're going in.
Gotta make
We'll
his,
see you on Arcadia.
you know, villain speeches accessible, I suppose. Anyways, I've got to vanish early today. Good luck with the game and stream. Sure thing, Tiago. It's always a pleasure. Hope you have a good rest of your day. Hope you're looking forward to Monster Hunter later this month. I'm gonna keep an eye on it. Also, Dr. Nefarious gives me big Starscream energy. I have no idea who that is. Perhaps I am just that uncultured. Also, I'm going to destroy all your pewters. Anyway, we got to go. Let's go. But yeah, Dr. Nefarious is the series' most popular villain. He shows up in about like half of the games. He's either the main antagonist or he shows up in some way.
To view your current
I think he makes a cameo in Deadlocked in the game's ending. He's the main antagonist in A Crack in Time. He is a playable character in All for One. And he is also the main antagonist in Rift Apart, which is the series' newest game as of now. So, you know, he shows up in a good handful of the games. He's you know, he's not like the series' only villain, obviously, but, you know, he shows up quite a bit. Which makes sense, because he's pretty popular. A lot of people like him.
You can upgrade your starfighter systems at
Oh yeah, we can also customize our ship in this game, just like in the second game. Although the customization is a lot simpler. You can only really customize the nose and the wings and the color, that sort of thing. Although, even though you can customize your ship's look, there is no ship combat in this one, which is honestly a good thing. It's possible that they wanted to include ship combat in this one, but had to cut it due to time, probably. But this game don't have it. This game doesn't have any sort of ship aerial combat, which I like, to be honest. I mean, I like that it's not here. Because I don't really like the ship combat in the second game. So I'm kind of glad that it's not a thing in this one. You can still customize your ship, though, if you like, for, you know, aesthetic purposes, if you desire. Anyway, Planet Marcadia, let's go. Also, should I go for all the big bolts in this playthrough? I don't know. I think I did in my Ratchet 1 and 2 playthroughs, I think I went for all the big bolts. I don't know. Also, my neck really hurts. I've got, like, my neck is starting to really ache. Must be the way I've been sitting. Honestly, I've been kind of restless all day today. I'm having a difficult time getting comfortable. Also, maybe it's because I'm just a little bit tired. I'm a little bit tired. I thought I got a good amount of sleep, but it turns out when I did the math that was wrong. I'm trying to get on a better like internal clock, and I think I achieved it, but I think I kind of messed up a little bit. It's really annoying because like I've been waking up early, which is nice, which is what I want, like waking up earlier. But for some reason, like I'm still going to sleep fairly late, but I'm waking up early. Not because I set any alarm for it, it's just my brain is naturally like, okay, you're getting up now. And it's like, great, I want to get up early, but I want to get up... I still want to have like a good amount of sleep as well. So I should try getting to sleep earlier, but you know, I can't help it if I can't get to sleep and I'm not tired. But, you know, what happened today is that I went to bed not super late, but fairly late, but my brain decided to wake me up too early, and then I couldn't get back to sleep. So now I'm just kind of tired. It's annoying, because, like, I couldn't get back to sleep despite still being tired. It's one of those kinds of things. So now I'm just kind of tired, and I kind of just have to deal with it. Fun stuff. Love it. God, the sound of collecting bolts is always so satisfying.
Tap triangle to cycle through the last 3 weapons you have equipped.
I mentioned earlier about the possibility of these games getting a remake. I think it's possible. I always thought maybe it might be cool if they did what they did with Spyro and Crash, where they remake the first 3 games in one big collection. I don't know if that's something that they would do, because these games are a little bit more complex than Spyro or Crash. So maybe they would rather remake them one at a time instead of doing them all in bulk in a big trilogy collection. But I don't know. I think a remake of these games would be interesting, mainly because these games are difficult to port apparently because of the way they were originally made. I don't know the ins and outs of it all, but because of the way these games were made, they cut a lot of corners development-wise and stuff like that, in a way that makes these games difficult to port, which is why the PS3 versions of these games are probably buggier than they ought to be. It could also just be incompetence on the port job. Maybe a bit of both. I don't know. I don't want to point fingers though. But one way to kind of help with that would be, instead of porting them, to remake them instead. That way they could be brought over to modern systems, and you could just... Obviously remaking them takes up a hell of a lot more time and effort, but I think it would be... I think a lot of people would be into it. I think it could introduce a lot of new people to the series, and you could modernize the games a little bit more, and fans would be into it. I know I'd be into it. I don't know. To be honest, when it comes to the idea of remaking the older Ratchet and Clank games, to be honest, I've never heard anybody say they want that. But just because I've never heard it doesn't mean people wouldn't be into it, you know? I don't know. I've never heard anybody say, "Oh, I want them to remake the older Ratchet and Clank games." I've heard myself say that a few times, but I've never heard anyone else say it. But I feel very strongly that I think it would be a pretty good idea. I don't think it would be a bad idea. I just died. I don't think it'd be a bad idea. I can see the benefits. I don't know. I think perhaps they're a lot more concerned with expanding the series' future rather than remaking the older games. Because, you know, the series is still going on. You know, it's still like an ongoing plot, kinda. Like, this series isn't really like Kingdom Hearts, where there's constantly an ongoing plot. Like, this series does have kind of an ongoing plot, sort of. I mean, in the earlier PS2 days, it was very much like jump in anywhere, villain of the week kind of series. But once we hit the PS3 era, the series gets a lot more story-heavy. Well, not a lot more, but it gets story-heavy. And you know, there's like lore introduced and stuff like that. And there's like a bit more of an ongoing plot. Where was I going with that? But yeah, the series is still going on, and they still kind of... Because like the most recent Ratchet and Clank game, Rift Apart, it didn't end on a cliffhanger exactly. But it had a very open-ended ending, where they very clearly want to continue. Because there's still mysteries and questions. Although something that makes me a little bit nervous, or I don't know how to explain it, like upset, I guess, is the idea that while I don't think they've said this, but I kind of get the feeling that Ratchet and Clank might be a series that might get an ending soon. Like, I don't know if this series has that many more games left in it. Then again, I don't know. I don't have any definitive reason to believe that, but it's just kind of a feeling I get. I am not positive, but I think the founder of Insomniac recently left the company, like a week ago or something like that. So I don't know how much that would affect Ratchet and Clank going forward, because it's not like he was the only one behind these games, obviously. And you know, it's still a lot of the original staff is still at the company, so that's a thing. But also, I don't know, I just can't help but wonder if maybe they might be trying to wind the series down now and lead it towards an inevitable ending. I don't know, I feel like if that was their plan, if they were going to end Ratchet and Clank in the next game or two, I feel like they might have said so. They might have like said that, but I don't know. Ratchet and Clank is the kind of series where it kind of has not infinite possibilities, but you can take the series anywhere. It's just the concept of this series, both in terms of story and gameplay, has, you know, you can go anywhere with this series, really. Nothing is like, you know, out of the question, I find. But still, because the series, Ratchet and Clank kind of can easily just do like a villain of the week kind of format, it means that the series can kind of just keep on introducing new villains and stuff like that. But who knows? I would like them to port over some of these games, though.
They're attacking the compound from the other side. We could sure use your help. You got it. Follow me to the dropship.
Follows me. So it could be potentially noticeable by now that this game is definitely way more combat heavy than the first two. I haven't really been this game, I don't want to say it's mindless, but it's a lot of combat, and it's honestly really fun and satisfying to just vibe and just play. But they've definitely toned down on the exploration and puzzle solving aspects. Because like this planet has been just a straight line for the most part. You just go. There's no like secret areas or split paths. Any split paths this game does have are very small little side areas that are very short. And this game does have the occasional little puzzle area, but this game is way more about the combat. Which I don't think is a bad thing. It could also be a byproduct of the fact that they tried to introduce a multiplayer mode in this one.
Sarge, you're just in time. We must defend the presidential palace.
Okay, so we got our first little mission arena. Our first proper mission arena. This is something that shows up in this game quite a bit, where you're essentially dropped off to this war zone. Where usually the goal is to just defeat the enemies. That's basically what it all boils down to. Just keep fighting. You know, they'll say there's like different missions, you know, different enemies, and protect the outpost, or, you know, defeat the enemies using a turret, you know, but it's always just a variation on defeat all the enemies. Which is fine, you know. It's what I was gonna do anyway, so... I mean, this game focuses on the combat, but it helps that the combat is fun, so I don't really mind that it does that. You know, the weapons are fun to use. Using them and upgrading them and leveling them up is really satisfying to do. So, you know, more combat just means more XP for me. Anyway, these are all level 2, except for the plasma whip, so I'll use the plasma whip a bit more. It's just that the plasma whip ain't that good. It's a shame, because the plasma whip is pretty cool, but it's just not that useful. It's useful for, like, smaller enemies like these, I guess, but...
Area secure. Nice work, ladies. Let's move out.
Air assault. The Rangers can't hold out much longer. They need backup now. Save as many Rangers as you can. So basically what I was doing before.
Sarge, cover those Rangers. If we lose the whole squad, it's all over.
Oh, so I have to make sure that all 4 of them don't die. Gotcha. I should take this seriously then. So yeah, I like to make sure that my weapons level up fairly evenly. Like, all these weapons I have are level 2, except for the Plasma Whip, so I want to try and use the Plasma Whip a bit more to up its level a bit. But I'm still going to try and use weapons that are good for certain situations. It's kind of the point of having them. Whoop, I'm being shot at. Okay, my health increased. Yummy, yummy in my tummy. Oh yeah, so this game introduces the Galactic Rangers, who I don't think show up past this game, at least not in this way. I think the Galactic Rangers are maybe mentioned in other games in passing. They're basically just, you know, like a robots that fight. They're like, you know, military group or whatever. But, you know, the joke is that they're very incompetent and they suck. So, but they mean well. You know, I like them, honestly. I think they're fun. You know, they're not useful, but that's okay because I want to defeat all the enemies to get the XP, so I don't really care if they suck. Because I want to do the killing. Thank you very much. But the Galactic Rangers actually ended up being a part of the movie, but they were drastically changed. It was basically a completely different thing. The Galactic Rangers in the movie, and by proxy the movie game, are more of like a, I don't know, superhero team than like a you know, military group of sorts. Which is, you know, they're just, you know, adapting stuff. Anyway, Iron Shield, get to the plasma turret and blast those Noid drop shits at. Oh, I meant ships with a P. Sorry. Did I maybe I imagined that? Did I accidentally swear a little bit there? My bad. I meant to say ships. Simple mistake. I mean, I don't really have a strong, language warning or anything like that, restrictions or anything like that, but I typically like to try and keep things family friendly. I don't know, I say that, but kids these days be saying some really unhinged stuff, so... Or at least that's kind of what I gather from back when I watched Fortnite videos of kids yelling and screaming and swearing and saying just like the craziest stuff. Not really a fan of that. Anyway, we're fighting these guys with a turret, and it's kind of lame because I don't get any XP from my weapons. Because I'm using a turret. Also, does anyone like turret sections? Like, you know, we deal with them, but does anyone actually like these? And be honest. You know, show of hands. Oh, none of you. I see. Okay, I'm going to up the volume a little bit. Under the gun. Provide covering fire for the repair crew until they can get the turret operational again. Or, you know, we could leave it destroyed, because it's not that helpful. I think I can kill things a lot more efficiently myself. I wonder if I should lower the camera sensitivity. The camera moves a bit fast compared to what I'm used to. I could turn it down by like a 1 notch. Let's go 1 notch. Let's turn it down by just a little bit. Let's just almost completely not different at all, but in my mind it is, so I'm just kind of tricking my brain into thinking that it matters. Maximum nanotech increased. Yeah, I need to use my Plasma Whip a bit more to level it up. I don't think the Plasma Whip is ever a weapon that returns, probably because it's not that good. Although, actually, in Tools of Destruction, which is essentially Ratchet Clank 4, they kind of dropped the numbers after the 3rd game. But in Tools of Destruction, they actually do have a whip. I think it's called... I don't know if it's called... I don't know what it's called. It's not called the Plasma Whip. It's called, like, the... Frick, I don't even know what it's called. But, it's not... It doesn't work the same way. It's more of a... Because, like, the Plasma Whip, it works basically the same as Ratchet's Wrench. Like, it's reused animations and everything. And you can throw it. In Tools of Destruction, the whip is more like a whip that Ratchet actually, like, you know, he, like, cracks it. And, like, hits it forward and stuff like that. You can't throw it, but he can do like a grounded attack and an air attack. It's kind of cool. It's still not that great though, but I appreciate the effort. Yeah, this series attempts to do like close range weaponry here and there, like melee weapons that don't use typical ammo and, you know, are close combat kind of things. They never really catch on though. They're never really that good or useful. Anyway, I can buy new weapons now. Holy crap, let's grab the Infector, even though it's probably my least favorite weapon in the game. And we can also get the Suck Cannon, which is actually a returning weapon from the first game. Okay, hit and run. Use the bolt cranks to activate the automated turrets in sequence.
The Nords have launched an all-out assault. We need those air defenses online yesterday.
I like the way these guys talk. They sure do be saying a lot of stuff.
Most targets can only target aircraft. You'll need to handle the ground troops yourself.
They say like Warzone speak. And it's really fun, even though they're in mortal peril. Well, actually not mortal peril, because they're robots. It's okay if they die, because they don't have souls. You know what robot does have a soul? Clank. So, you know, I care a lot more about Clank. Which, and I'm not kidding, by the way, that is a canon thing. Anyway, so we got the Suck Cannon, which is a returning weapon from the first game. One really cool bit of continuity about the Suck Cannon is that it's a weapon that you purchase in this one, and it's really improved from how it was in the first game, for a few reasons. But it makes a lot of like logical sense for that in universe as well, because in the first game, the Suck Cannon isn't even a weapon that you purchase; it's a weapon that you just find lying on the floor, and judging by its design, like the way the weapon actually physically looks, you can kind of tell that it's supposed to be more of a prototype. That's not supposed to be for like public use yet, but you kind of just find it, so you just take it. But in this game, it seems like in the 2 years since the first game, the Suck Cannon is a weapon that you purchase, and it seems to be fully fleshed out. It's got a new look, so it looks a lot sleeker. In the first game, it definitely looked like a prototype. It didn't have any paint. It kind of had like the yellow and black police tape looking stuff on it, like warning, danger kind of look on it. It definitely looked like a prototype. In this game, the suck cannon has a much like a more defined look.
Clank, you're even more impressive.
Also, it just works better in this game.
And I must say, I've never seen a chauffeur fight like you do, son. Who says you can't find good help these days, right, Clank? Sasha's told me a lot about you. Don't get any ideas, kid. She is way out of your league. Sasha filled me in on the Quark situation. I'm told the man thinks he's a
Mr.
monkey.
President.
He has lost his memory, sir.
Well, then you'll simply have to find it for him. We need our star player back in the game ASAP. Is that understood?
Yes, sir.
My daughter tells me you're a man who's good with his hands, Ratchet.
Sir, I swear I never...
The city's laser shield
Yeah,
went down
another
during
joke
the
that I
attack.
never
We are
understood.
defenseless without it. I sent out a repairman to fix it, but he disappeared. I need you to get that shield system back online.
Yes, sir. We're on it.
Okay, go to the Lasers Defense Facility. Sounds like a fun time. Let's do it. Phew. One benefit to doing those combat missions is that you can earn a good amount of bolts out of it. So yeah, let me go through our new weapons. So we got the Infector. The Infector is probably my least favorite weapon in the game, honestly. Or at least it's up there. I don't really like this weapon very much. It's a fun idea, and I appreciate them for trying it. Basically, it shoots this little glob. And if it touches an enemy, like so... Okay, well, those enemies were so weak that it just killed them. If it touches an enemy, it'll infect them. Basically, it will cause them to take damage gradually until they die, or until the effects wear off. I think it also... I don't know if it does this now or when it levels up, but the Infector will also cause the enemies to attack each other. Which sounds pretty cool, and again, I appreciate the variety in weapons here, but I don't really like this very much. It basically just takes longer to kill stuff with it. I'd rather, you know, just shoot them and kill them instead of, like, going through the effort of poisoning them and watching them die a slow and painful death. I want to kill them mercifully, thank you. Like there, I infected him, and then he dies. And obviously, tougher enemies will take longer to kill with it. So I don't really like it. But yeah, we also got the suck cannon. So yeah, this is the full developed version of the suck cannon. In the first game it was more of a prototype, and in this game it's the full finished version. This version is a lot better in this game. It works the same way, where you kind of inhale smaller enemies and then you can shoot them back out as missiles. One big problem with the suck cannon in the first game though, is that once you inhale something, even if you don't fill up the barrel, once you let go of the circle button to stop inhaling, you have to fire whatever it is you inhaled before being able to inhale again. Like, you couldn't just, you know, inhale and exhale whenever you want. You have to inhale stuff. Once you let go of that button, you have to exhale whatever you inhaled. You can't just alternate between inhaling and exhaling. Which wasn't a deal breaker, but it made the weapon a lot less useful. This game actually does allow you to inhale and exhale whenever you want. There isn't like a separate button for inhaling and exhaling. Essentially, once you inhale something and then you let go of the button, you have to pressing circle again will shoot it out, even if the barrel isn't full. But if you switch to your wrench and then hold the circle button to bring the weapon out, it'll then default to inhaling, even if the barrel has stuff in it. I might be poorly explaining this, but oh well, whatever.
The refractor will...
But anyway, what I'm trying to say, the suck cannon is better. You can fit more things in the barrel in this game as well, and it's just better. Also, one really good change to the suck cannon is that not only can it inhale small enemies, but it can inhale crates as well. And you still get the contents of the crates when you inhale them into the cannon. And then you can use them, the crates as ammo as well, which is super useful. Love that. I'm going to remove the refractor from my quick select because it's not very good to have on that. I don't think I can remove it actually. Oh well, never mind. Anyway, we got our first gadget, the refractor. We can stand in lasers.
The refractor will let you...
And we're able to redirect laser beams into stuff. So yeah, even though this game is a lot more combat focused, there are still little puzzle areas from time to time, but they're not as frequent as they used to be. And they're pretty much limited to their own contained areas. So you know, gadgets are still a thing, but they're not as prominent anymore. The refractor is it's fine. You just, you know, you redirect laser beams and, you know, it's fine. It's whatever. I don't dislike the refractor. It's perfectly fine. You can use it to attack enemies as well by redirecting beams into them. But I'd rather use my weapons for that. Oh, Ned. My neck is so achy. Ugh. Yeah, I want to just like stretch it a bit. I was sleeping kind of weird earlier. I mentioned earlier that I didn't get much sleep and I was a bit tired. So earlier I did take a nap on the sofa for about half an hour. And I slept in a very probably not good position. That's probably why my neck is aching a bit now. So, yep, whoops-a-daisy. I didn't lie down. I essentially, like, I was on the sofa and I kind of lied on my side, but still sitting up, if that makes sense. I don't know why I didn't lie down. I don't know why. I just didn't. It was like kind of comfortable, but clearly it had like a side effect. Because now my neck kind of hurts.
Hit by the infector will continue taking damage until the infection wears off. Hitting an enemy with multiple infector shots will make the infection last longer.
Yes. Yeah, so the infector just takes too long to kill stuff for my liking. I'm still going to use it because I like to make sure every weapon gets equal use. So I am going to use it, but I'm not going to like it. Obviously you don't have to use it, like, I'm just using it because I'm a little bit OCD. I'm not... Or at least I expect I am. Kind of feels like I am. I don't know if OCD is a thing you get like an official diagnosis for. I assume so. I imagine I have it. But I can't confirm that, so I probably shouldn't go around saying stuff like that unless I'm sure. I think I was wrong about the infector causing enemies to attack each other, because he's still attacking me. I think it does just slowly kill them. I think that's all it does. So this weapon is even more crappy than I remember.
Ratchet, there should be a spider symbol somewhere in that room. Use the beam to lead the spider drone over the symbol, and then zap it with the laser.
Okay. Follow me, little spider. It's like playing with a cat. I wonder what Lombaxes would look like in real life. That's what Ratchet is, by the way, in case that wasn't clear. Because if you look at like characters like Sonic, obviously Sonic is an anthropomorphic hedgehog, and hedgehogs don't look like Sonic in real life. They're you know, they're small. So if let's say like if Lombaxes were a real animal, and Ratchet is just an anthropomorphic version of a Lombax, what would a regular non-anthropomorphic Lombax look like, I wonder? I'm going to look for fan art of it after this stream. Because it's something I never considered. Probably because it's a dumb thing to think about. Okay, what the hell am I meant to do? God, I am a bit tired, hey. It's cool. I'm playing one of my favorite games, so there we go. Okay, I'm going to inhale. Yeah, you can inhale these crates, and when you fire the crates back out again, you still get the contents of the crates. So if you inhale an ammo crate, you can still get the ammo once you shoot it out. I think. Yeah, you do. I actually think because like there's also exploding crates, and I think you can also essentially use those to shoot bombs at people. And the you know the suck cannon's bullets are already explosive. It's cool because the suck cannon was a cool idea for a weapon in the first game, but they improve on it so much in this one that it's one of my favorite weapons in the game, really. It's cool because it doesn't use traditional ammo because you're inhaling. Also, I'm saying inhale instead of sucking because of reasons. Because you can like inhale stuff, it doesn't use ammo like the other weapons do. So if you're ever in a situation where you're out of ammo for your other weapons, if there's crates lying around or smaller enemies lying around, you can use those instead. Okay, we got our first, well, aside from Captain Quark, I guess, we got our first returning character from the first game.
Hey, look, it's Al. Got the shields up yet?
Silence! I am concentrating.
What the? That's a Quark vid comic.
Excuse me. It is a historically accurate interactive graphic novel.
How can you use the city's defense network to play a video game?
Simple.
What's the specs on the city's defense network? Gotta be pretty high.
And reprogram the graphic subprocessor.
No, I mean, it's... Clank, you speak, nerd.
It appears you have a feedback loop in the induction.
I couldn't help but notice that the subtitles capitalize the N on nerd.
I ran a recursive checksum on the signal matrix. Hey, there is a feedback loop. I don't know what happened to that.
May we borrow this vid comic?
Treat it gently. It is a first edition.
Perhaps this will help restore Quark's memory.
Shield power restored.
See, yes. Playing video games solves all your problems. Even memory loss would recommend. Holy crap, I could see through Ratchet's face. Okay, now it's time to return. RTC, return to ship. No, that'd be RTS. What's RTC? Oh, return to castle. That's from Kingdom Hearts. Whoops, I got my acronyms messed up. Oh man, I thought I said something clever. RTS would be return to ship. And that's an acronym that is definitely not going to catch on. I shouldn't even try and make it a thing. But I'm gonna I might try and make that a thing. Assuming I can get it right. Anyway, we got our first Captain Quark vid comic. There are 5 of them in the game, and each of them allows us to play a mini-game, which is a side-scroller little adventure game where you play as Captain Quark. And they're pretty fun, honestly. I don't know what the general consensus on them are, but it's fun. They're not particularly long or annoying or complicated. It's just a little side-scrolling minigame. I like side-scrollers, and it's fun to control, and it's nice. There's only 5 levels in the game, so it's not like it'll take an abundance of your time. I think I might have messed up that sentence wording-wise a little bit, but it's fine, I'll roll with it. Okay, I'm gonna buy this armor. A full-body personal armor system reinforced with an energy-absorbing alloy called Magnaplate. Gadgetron guarantees their new Magnaplate armor system will reduce damage from enemy fire by a full 33%. I shall purchase. Sweet. I'm gonna keep the Ratchet 1 skin on though. Also, man, my PS3 is really really whirring in the back here. Hopefully my mic isn't picking up on that. Hopefully not, probably not. Yeah, PS3, it's old. I don't even think this PS3 that I'm using really works properly. It can't really... It has trouble reading discs these days, so... Thankfully, these games I have downloaded, so I don't have to use discs, but, you know. Anyway, let's do some...
Watch and learn, Clank. This is how a real hero
Let's do video game therapy. Also, I'm pretty sure Clank's legs were clipping into the sofa instead of animating him sitting down. That's funny.
These are the real-life adventures of Captain Quark.
Captain Quark in real life. I wonder if many people have tried to cosplay Captain Quark. Probably.
By our crack research team with the aid of eyewitness accounts, bathroom gossip, wild speculation, and a magic 8-ball. In the early days of the 5th Solarian equinox, the Solana galaxy was terrorized by a notorious pirate known as Captain Blackstar.
Ahoy! Anybody else got a craving for fish and chips?
Interesting. They established space pirates in this game, technically. Space pirates become a pretty prominent thing in later games. Interesting that they kind of established that they're a thing that exists in this one, even if they're more of a joke.
That's robotic pirate ghosts. Guess reading wasn't your subject, eh, Professor?
Right.
Funnily enough, robotic pirate ghosts are also going to be important in a later game. Funny how these things work out. Anyway, so yeah, these are all side-scrolling little mini-games. Pretty simple, you press square to punch, you can jump, and you can wall jump, and you can do this. You can crouch, and you can this, and you can this. And that's about it, and then you also get a weapon later on. Yeah, these are pretty simple. Just, you know, just punch a rat here and there, you collect these tokens.
Picked up an officially licensed Quark token. Collect all the tokens in the level to earn a secret prize.
So yeah, I'm gonna want to try and collect all the tokens.
The red ones are worth 10 Quark tokens.
So yeah, I'm gonna want to try and collect every token. Every level has 100, as he just said. And collecting all 100 in a level will give you a titanium bolt. Again, titanium bolts are only really good for getting you skins. But I still want to get them all, for the sake of getting stuff. Also, the more tokens you pick up in a level, the more... Because, like, apparently you get awarded with bolts. Somehow. You get given money for doing well on a video game. That's just impossible. There's no way that's a thing in real life. That's not a thing. Definitely not. But yeah, if you collect all 100 tokens, you get more money for it. Which makes me wonder how on earth you get the money. Is there like a little like a money slot built into the console, or is it like a send straight to your bank account kind of situation?
Press circle to fire my blaster. Hold down R1 and move the left analog stick for precision aiming.
So yeah, you get like a little weapon in these. Honestly, the weapon's pretty fun. It's just a simple little blaster, but you know, it's pretty fun. Yeah, you pew. You do a little pew 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 here and there. The bullets, I think, travel super far, so it can be really fun to just, like, shoot a bullet and just follow it through the screen. Can snipe with it. It's like I'm playing Mega Man. Except I've never actually played a Mega Man game before, so I don't know how accurate that statement is. Whoops. Oh, I might die. Don't want that. I'm very careless about avoiding the obstacles. There we go, we got our titanium bowl. That came out of the game. So it's not so much if you die in the game, you die in real life. It's like, if you succeed in the game, you succeed in real life.
A nice juicy health upgrade. Remember, cadets, there's one in every level.
Yeah, I've never played a Mega Man game, but I'm almost sure that this is exactly what Mega Man is like. I'm being somewhat sarcastic there. Mega Man is a series that I've always wanted to try and give a shot. I don't know if I'd be into the classic Mega Man games though. They look a bit too dated for me to get into. I don't like the idea of me not being able to get into a game because it's dated. But I do think that wouldn't help. I would be interested in trying Mega Man X though. That looks a bit more up my alley. Yes, I won. Oh. Jesus Christ. That noise. Love that. I'm gonna up the game's volume a bit more.
I mean, I've worked on some real junk, but this one takes the cake. Pirate, ghost robots. I mean, what do they think? We're idiots?
Hey, Professor, snap to it.
Once again,
Professor
the citizens of the Solana Galaxy.
It took me so long to notice that Captain Quark's logo on his outfit is supposed to be a Q. It took me an embarrassing long time to realize that. I kind of just thought, I don't know, I just thought it was just a logo. That didn't mean anything. I didn't realize that it was supposed to be like a Q with like a lightning bolt.
Yes, I got the fruit basket, thanks. It turns out I'm allergic to prunes. Yeah, who knew? What? Blackwater City is under attack. Yes, sir, I'm on my way.
These are some pretty good like comic illustrations, honestly.
Adventures of Captain
Yeah, that's definitely supposed to be a Q. I never noticed. I just thought it was just a random logo. Also, he's having his war flashbacks, check it out. We're also going to clip into his head while we're at it. Ah yes, remember that one time where he did that thing? Oh my god, we were really clipped into his head.
It appears Quark has regained his memory.
Hey, this dressing room isn't fit for a pig. What kind of shoddy production are you people running?
That's him, all right.
He may need a while to adjust. In the meantime, I've got a mission that's perfect for you two. We've just learned of a prototype holographic device that can disguise the user as a Tyrannoid.
It's comforting to know that if I ever get amnesia, I can just play a video game to fix it.
Anyway...
Well, assuming the game was about me, so... I'm sure Kingdom Hearts will do the trick. It's not like...
Check it out.
A lot of... Well, obviously... Kingdom Hearts has nothing to do with me. It is a series that I spent a lot of time on, so if anything were to jog my memory, it'd probably be that.
I mean, contestant Fred! Fred is a Gadgetron accountant who claims he once had a Morpho Ray go off in his pants.
What the hell?
What a chair.
Okay, for context, the Morpho Ray is a gun that turns you into a chicken.
Doesn't look too bad now, does it? Good luck, Fred! Next!
And he's dead. We just saw murder happen on TV. Which is apparently allowed in the future. Wow. Okay, so we're gonna head to Annihilation Nation, which is this game's combat arena. Ratchet 2 introduced combat arenas, and most Ratchet & Clank games have them. Where they're well, what it says on the tin, really. They are combat arenas. You compete and fight for money and glory, and all that stuff. Although in Ratchet & Clank 2 there were 2 combat arenas, this game just has one. And that's how most games do it in the future. You only really need one of them. But also, Annihilation Nation has platforming challenges as well, which is a nice little shake-up. Also, I'm now noticing this this little I don't know, what would you call this, like little alcove here? Because like that one has the weapon shop, that one has the armor shop. It really feels like there's supposed to be something here, but there just isn't. Maybe they just included it here for like the sake of symmetry, I guess. Maybe there was something supposed to be there and they cut it. I don't know. Don't know what it could be. They could have had like, maybe that could have been where you could purchase skins or something. You know, they could have done something with that. Just to fill up the space. Yeah. Anyway, we're going to Annihilation Nation. Here we go! Sorry, I shouldn't yawn directly into the microphone. We're here, and we're ready to battle.
Are you ready to play? All right, let's meet our first contestant. He's an unemployed rocket mechanic who claims to have saved 2 galaxies, but most people know him as Secret Agent Clank's bumbling chauffeur. He hopes that disguising himself as a tyrannoid will make him more attractive to the ladies. Hey, give a warm welcome to...
Look at the shadow people in the background.
Ratchet will attempt to be the first contestant.
Either they're low poly shadow people, because they can't have like a ton of character models on screen at once. But, you know, I'm willing to also believe that it's just a race of aliens that happen to just look like that. Yeah, one ongoing joke slash plot point in this game is that Ratchet, or well, not Ratchet, but Clank, is a film star now. Apparently at some point between the second game and this game, Clank got hired to be an actor in, or like the lead actor in his own TV series. And Ratchet also is as well, but he's like Clank's sidekick. And this plot point apparently warranted an entire game based on it. Because their Secret Agent Clank is also a pseudo spin-off game as well, which I probably will play at some point. Since it got added to the PS5 recently. It's a PSP game though. Yeah, so like an ongoing thing is people like doesn't realize that Clank is not actually a secret agent because apparently everyone is stupid. Although Clank doesn't really doesn't really make much of an effort to let people know that, you know, it's a fictional character that he just plays. At least not often. I think Clank just likes the attention. So yeah, we're doing an obstacle course now. As well as arena missions, like the second game, you also do obstacle courses, which is a nice little shake-up. I'm quite into it. And you still do some fighting, so you can infectorize you. Oh god, I should probably look before I leap. Made it. Oh, we got another vid comic. I literally just got one. Cool.
Here we go, folks. Arena combat. Yeah, you know you want it.
Yes, in addition to a new arena, we also get a new arena announcer, and I quite like this one. He's fun. In every game that has an arena, there's always an arena announcer to talk throughout the matches. And it's always fun. There's always a new one every time. You could do like a tier list of the best arena announcers. This one will probably be up there. I like the arena announcer for this game. He has some funny jokes. He's got the jokes. Oh yeah, I'm pretty sure the amount of XP you get from defeating enemies is reduced during the arena. Although I'm not positive on that. I think that's the case. That was the case in the second game at least. I'd imagine that's also the case here. So the amount of XP we're getting is reduced, but we're still getting some XP, so I should still try and use my weapons as much as possible to level them up. Because yeah, I can see my XP bar is going up. It's just a bit slower than before. Oh, this is where the suck cannon really comes in handy with these little guys. Great. Trying to get me with their little knives. We can grab this Inferno box, but again, I'd rather use my weapons. Sweet. Oh, my suck cannon is almost fully maxed out. Well, not maxed out, but leveled up. How much charge does my controller have? Oh, it's still got 2 bars. Oh, the cutscene restarted. I didn't know that was a thing.
And here to give you your prize, the lovely Miss Courtney Gears.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about Courtney Gears. Best character in the game.
How about that, folks? He is better looking.
I like how she just randomly shows up in that scene. Just so you know that she exists.
Oh, I see you won the Terror guys. It's very convincing. Anyway, there's something I think the two of you need to see.
Work personal log, entry 101301. After I personally vanquished the Protopet menace.
Oh yes, I remember that. And I remember that too, unfortunately.
I decided to focus my efforts on protecting the endangered creatures of the Florana jungle. But when news arrived that Dr. Nefarious had again risen to power, I knew where my true destiny lay.
You haven't seen much of Dr. Nefarious yet.
Necessary to get back into tip-top shape has been exhausting, and my mind overflows with brilliant concepts. So I still yearn for the bittersweet stench of my simian companions. The time has come to resume my duties as the greatest hero the galaxy has ever known, Captain Quark!
Yay!
You're not gonna believe this, but the president put Quark in charge of the fight against Nefarious. Our new
Oh yeah, we got the
just
Terror
called his
guys now.
first team meeting. You better get back to the Phoenix right away.
I agree. This does not sound good.
Yeah, we got the Terror guys. It's this game's disguise gadget. But a lot of the games would have these. So this year's model is the Terror guys. Probably the best one, because you can actually jump and run and stuff. Also, it's used very sparingly, which is probably for the best. They stopped doing these after a while, though. I think by the PS3 era, they kind of stopped doing disguise gadgets. I mean, they're not that fun, so that's probably why.
Any time to compete for cash prizes.
Up your arsenal? I get that joke. I'm glad you do. Hi there, Snack Pigeon. Hope you're doing well. I saw a video on Instagram earlier of a pigeon wearing shoes, and it made me think of you. Anyway, I'm gonna fight this thing now. That was me. Oh, cool. that would make sense then. It was like a little pigeon wearing like real shoes. It was like a real pigeon. It might have been a little bit cruel because clearly someone had just put shoes on the pigeon, but if you say you're okay with it, then I'll believe it. This is going well. Yes, so these bosses are exclusive to the arena. Much like in the second game, there are arena exclusive bosses. Also, the arena missions I'm doing right now are optional. But you still get like money out of it, so they're worth doing. Also, you get some extra XP. Oh, speak of the devil, we have just leveled up.
Weapon upgrade features a lock-on mod. To lock on to enemy.
Cool, we got a lock-on mod. Yeah, the lock-on mod was something that you'd have to purchase with the platinum bolts in the second game, but this game made it so that mods like that are just part of the natural level up system, which is nice. I appreciate that. Let's do Crispy Critter. Anyway, I still need to level up my Infector, but the Infector sucks. So logically I should stop using it, but I can't do that. My brain wouldn't allow it.
Hey, be sure to catch me next week at the Florana Demolition Derby.
Okay, I'm gonna Kirby up these. Oh, Slap Cannon.
Did you see that?
Yeah, so Ratchet's double jump is way better in this game. And I wonder why they did that. Because the fact that Ratchet's double jump goes way higher in this game compared to the others renders the high jump kind of useless. Maybe it goes slightly higher? Maybe the high jump goes still a little bit higher? I don't know, it's about the same, it looks like. I wonder why they did that. It could be because of the multiplayer mode, because I think in the multiplayer mode you don't have Clank with you. So they wanted you to be able to, like, make those jumps without him. Yeah, interesting. But it does mean that Clank is a lot less useful now. I mean, he still has uses. Again, you can still do your long jumps. You never have to do long jumps in this game, really, but it makes you go a little bit faster. So there's that. I think you can still use the thruster pack if you want. Yeah, you have the thruster pack still. But I don't really like the thruster pack. I've mentioned in the past that I don't really care for it. For a few reasons. One, I think it looks dumb, because you're basically just got like a jet plane on your back, and I think it looks stupid. Also, the sound effects for it, it's kind of hard to tell because the music's kind of loud and overpowering it. But the thruster pack's sound effects sound like a really bad cough, which is kind of funny. But I don't really like that. I think the helipack is a lot more charming, and I like the cute little backpack look. Oops.
Oh, this is gonna be exciting.
I don't like the Infector very much, but you got to admit it's a pretty rough way to go. Because you're literally poisoning your enemies and then they die slowly. So, you know, it's pretty brutal when you think about it. As opposed to just, you know, blowing them up the old-fashioned way. Okay, I should probably be a bit more careful. Whoops. I don't know if the arenas give you health at certain points. I think it might, just like little health crates every now and then to keep you boosted. Maybe it doesn't, I don't know. I'm pretty sure the second game did that, so... you gain a little bit of XP during the arena missions. Not as much as outside of them. One benefit to that is that if you level up your health, not only does it do like a little mini attack, but leveling up your health will also fully restore your health as well. So there are points where you might be in a really tough spot during one of these arena missions, and you're just kind of really hoping that you'll get that health level up just to give you that little bit of extra health boost. Like the health level ups that fully restore your HP can be a lifesaver. Especially during some of the longer arena missions. Because there's like an arena mission that goes on for like 50 rounds. It's like the Hades Cup of the Ratchet Clank series. Oh yeah, my N60 Storm has a lock-on mod now, so I can hold L2 and R2 to lock onto an enemy, and it even shows me their health, which is handy. That's the only weapon that has the lock-on mod for now. But I think other weapons also get that mod when they level up, so... Oh, okay, the Infector does cause enemies to attack each other. Assuming there are other enemies around, I guess. I'm thinking about all the announcers in the arenas throughout this series and just trying to recall them. There is one in Ratchet Clank Into the Nexus, which is a much smaller game. That game has an arena though, and I remember liking the announcer for that game because he is like incredibly British. But not posh British. And I don't know. I probably like him just out of bias, but I think he's funny. He says funny British things. Oh, I'm timed? Okay, I have to kill fast. Gotta kill fast. Does the Infector work on these things? I have no idea. A little bit, but it sucks, so I'm gonna not do that. I think XP is only awarded to your weapons when they defeat an enemy, not when they attack. It sometimes seems to change from game to game. Some games make it so that your weapons gain experience as you attack enemies, and some games make it so that they only get experience when enemies are actually defeated with the weapon. I'm pretty sure in this game it's just when they're defeated. So I'll weaken it with this weapon, and then I'll go for the kill with a different one. Pro tip. There we go. Okay, I don't know if I got any XP for that. I don't know. There we go. Okay, 90. I'm gonna probably just do all these arena missions for the monies, you know? Okay, beat all the gladiators before the clock winds down.
This event is a time limit challenge.
Yeah, I really like the arena combat in these games. I mean, this entire game feels like it's just a lot of arena combat all the time. But I don't know, arenas are fun. I always like in an action game or an RPG or whatever. I always appreciate a good arena. I think it's always something I will take. You know, Kingdom Hearts has their combat arenas. Stuff like that, except Kingdom Hearts 3, which is a real shame. I mean, like, I say that Kingdom Hearts 3 is my favorite Kingdom Hearts game, I like to say. But I'm not 100% on that. It's I kind of just say just for the sake of ease. But, and there are a lot of things that Kingdom Hearts 3, you know, misses out on. But for me, it's a game where the good outweighs the bad. One thing I will say is that Kingdom Hearts 3 doesn't have a combat arena. And it's really unfortunate, because, you know, the other games have one, or at least most of the bigger ones do. Why Kingdom Hearts 3 did not include a combat arena, I have no idea. I can only imagine that it was something that they just had to cut for time, maybe? I don't know. But, it's just very odd. Hopefully Kingdom Hearts 4 has one. Whenever that game releases. We still don't have anything. I was about to say we still don't have a release date, but we still don't actually really have anything. We got the announcement trailer like 3 to 4 years ago, and it's been absolute radio silence since then. I don't know. I guess I thought they'd learned their lesson after announcing Kingdom Hearts 3 too early. But it seems like we're getting the same situation this time around. Actually, I feel like Kingdom Hearts 3 at this point had another trailer by this point. I think the game got announced in like 2013. And then I think it also had like silence for a while, but I think it got another trailer in 2015. And then like every year it would have a couple trailers, and then like in 2017, 2018 it would have a lot more consistent trailers showing off all the worlds. So I feel like this is even more of a gap, because we got that announcement trailer like 3 to 4 years ago and we had absolutely nothing since then. It's just very weird. You'd think they'd go out of their way to avoid that this time around, but I guess not. I guess they'll be ready to show stuff when they're ready. I think the reason they announced the game when they did is because they announced it at the Kingdom Hearts 20th anniversary event, and I think they just wanted something special to show at the event. And you know, so I kind of get it, but here we are. We know that Kingdom Hearts 4 is real, but we don't have anything to go on aside from that initial trailer. And I don't even know when we'll see something of the game. It's the kind of thing where we could literally get a trailer at any point. And I can't really predict when. I have no idea. You know, we don't even have a release window. We know that the game exists and that's it. They didn't say like a year or anything. So, for all I know, the game could get a trailer in the next couple months. For all I know, we could get a new trailer in the next couple of years. Both seem equally likely as of now. Oh, I forgot this was a time limit challenge. Whoops-a-daisy. Oh, let's try that again. I was completely zoned out. I completely forgot that I was timed. Pixel, howdy. Oh, hi there, Benjamin Hawk. How you doing? I will hydrate. Yum. How you doing? I hope you're doing alright. You've been playing Final Fantasy VII Remake lately. Hope that's going well. I've been playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I've been doing my second playthrough lately in New Game Plus hard mode. So Remake also has a New Game Plus hard mode, and it is indeed very hard. So if you're into that, you can give that a shot after your first playthrough if you want. It has been well indeed, I'm glad. It's one of my favourite games, honestly. I mean, I think Rebirth kind of beats it, but I'm kind of considering them more of a package deal, so... yeah, I really like it. Top 10, for sure. It's in my top 10 somewhere. One day I will compose an actual top 10 list of my favourite games. Someday. But that would require me to actually think about it. I have a pretty good idea of which games I would have in my top 10 list, it's just ordering them is the trouble. Like, top 10 games, I know a couple of the Kingdom Hearts games would be in there. Persona 5 Royal will probably be in there somewhere. This game would probably be in there. And then 7 Remake and Rebirth I'd probably bundle together. But they'd be in my top 10 somewhere. But anyway, good to know you're doing well. Oh crap. Oh right, I'm timed! I'm so scatterbrained today. It's probably because I'm barely conscious right now. I'm like half asleep. I don't think I can win. I think I've messed this up thoroughly. Again, I was... Yeah, time's up. I keep forgetting that I'm timed. I'm like going all la-di-da-di-da-di-da, and I keep forgetting what I'm doing. Anyway, let's actually try and do this in time. How are you doing? I'm doing alright. I'm a little bit tired today because I didn't get enough sleep. Because my brain decided to be against me for some reason. But I'm playing one of my favourite games, so it's hard to really complain. Yes, I like the Ratchet & Clank series a great deal. And this is probably my favourite Ratchet & Clank game in the PS2 era, at least. But yeah, I'd say I'm doing alright. Could be a lot worse. Okay, don't forget, I've gotta kill things quickly. I keep just kind of forgetting every now and then as well. It's like, I'll remember at the beginning and then I'm like, oh wait, I forgot. I'm supposed to be doing this quickly. Yeah, my Shock Blaster is already starting to get to the point where it's getting outclassed. Because the Shock Blaster doesn't do as much damage as it did at the beginning of the game. And I'm not even that far in the game. You know, it's kind of just a series staple where the weapons you get earlier in the game become pretty obsolete after a while. Which makes sense. But, you know, if you like those weapons, then screw you, I guess, because they're going to be useless after a while. Okay, we've got a couple more rounds. I could grab that Inferno box, which would probably allow me to kill these guys a lot quicker, but I refuse. Ow. Okay, I won. Whether you're doing alright, I hope you can rest well soon. I'm sure I'll be fine. If I go to bed at a decent time today, I should be good. Ooh, I can get the Spitting Hydra. Electrocute multiple... I can't read today. Electrocute multiple enemies with one shot. Hold the fire button, select a group of targets, then release the button to unleash a storm of lightning. I think this weapon is perfectly fine, from what I recall. It's a perfectly okay weapon. It's good. It's functional. It's what the kids called a weapon.
Hold R1 while using the quick select.
Oh, this is a really good addition that this game makes, actually. I can't show it right now because I'm limited to using just the plasma whip for this challenge. Yeah, the arena in this game actually does introduce a few little extra little things with the arena where they'll have like themed matches, not just time limit challenges and stuff, which is pretty typical, but for example, we have this one where we're limited to using just a single weapon, which I think Ratchet Clank 2 did as well, but this game, I think it's like a little bit more memorable. Also, I recall that there's a couple arena challenges in this game where they'll essentially have a weapon randomizer, where every few seconds you'll randomly switch to another weapon, and you'll just have to make do with whatever the game gives you. Which is a really fun idea for a little arena challenge. I kind of wish that that was like a mode in the game that you could have at all times. You know, because that sounds like fun. I'd love like a random weapon mode. That'd be fun. It's functional, it works. it effectively kills things.
Hold circle to target multiple enemies with the Spitting Hydra.
Yeah, so you hold down the circle button, it targets multiple enemies, and once you release it, it zaps them with lightning. It works fine enough. I think this weapon works pretty well. I just don't find it all that fun to use. I don't know, it's fine. It's good. It does the job. There are plenty of weapons I'd rather be using, but this one is fine. It does a decent amount of damage though. I'm actually one-shotting a lot of these guys. Okay, Championship Bout or Pyro Playground? I'll do the Pyro Playground first. But yeah, one really cool change that this game made to the Quick Select, or more of an addition, is the inclusion of additional Quick Select rings. So in the first and second games, you only had one Quick Select rings for quickly selecting your weapons. You can always go to the main menu to select them the long way, but obviously being able to select them quickly is easier. This game adds a second Quick Select ring, so holding the R1 button will bring up a second one, allowing you to store twice as many weapons in your Quick Select, which is nice. I think later games would add a third one, but this game it's just limited to 2. But 2 is more than 1, so I'll take it. Is there a way I can remove stuff off of my Quick Select? Is that a no? I might be able to just replace stuff, because I don't want gadgets in my Quick Select, because I can just select those from the long menu.
Hey, be sure to catch me next week at the Florana Demolition Derby!
Fun fact, that might be wrong. So it's probably... I'm pretty sure this is correct, though. I believe the announcer that we're hearing in the background right now is voiced by the same guy who voices Ratchet. I think that's true. I don't quote me on that, but I think that's true. You wouldn't be able to tell by listening to him because his voice sounds pretty different. I think the voice actor is just good at doing multiple different voices. I think for the most part when he's voicing Ratchet, he's just using his regular voice. And 2 is indeed more than 1, at least you can still math, yes. There was actually a clip on a stream I did last year where I made a bit of a mathematical error. Like a dumb one, not like a real one. Where I said something like 3 is more than 5. That obviously I didn't think that 3 was actually more than 5. That was just me mixing up the numbers in my head, but that didn't stop someone from clipping it. And then I looked a bit silly. That's okay, because that's kind of unavoidable. Hey, we've got skill point. Oh yeah, these games do. This game also has skill points. They stopped doing skill points after a while, because I guess because skill points are kind of very similar to the PlayStation trophy system, so skill points kind of become obsolete after a while. I don't know what skill points do in this game, actually. I think they unlock cheats. Yeah, they unlock cheats. I don't remember what the cheats are. Probably dumb stuff like big head load or inverted world or something like that. Not the kind of thing that I particularly care about.
Hey, be sure to catch me next week in the Florana Demolition Derby.
This little guy can really move.
Did you see that?
Okay, getting some use out of my Plasma Whip. I'm still behind on leveling up my Infector. Again, because I don't like it. Should probably be using my Spitting Hydra as well. Okay, the Spitting Hydra is actually pretty good. I think it does boil down to the fact that I don't enjoy using it all that much. I don't know why, though. I don't know. It's fun enough. I don't think I've died yet in this game, in this playthrough. That's cool. It's well, actually, no, I have. Scratch that. I have died. I don't want to, you know, pat myself on the back too much there, falsely. I died earlier on in my playthrough. I just completely forgot about it. I was about to be like, I don't think I've died. Wow, check that out. I would be lying. That would be living a lie. Okay, this is a 24-round arena challenge. And I think we're going to be cycling through a bunch of random side challenges as the tournament goes on. I think. I might be thinking about it later on. Ratchet Clank 2 had 2 arena areas with different arena missions for you to do. In this game, they just have this place be the sole arena, but they make it so that more arena challenges get added to it later on to give you a reason to come back. Which is probably a much more sensible way of doing it. And that's kind of how the rest of the games will kind of do it as well. So that's confusing, I guess. Just have the one arena and just have it update. Plasma Whip is almost leveled up, so I'm just going to keep using it. Oh my god, I'm timed! Oh yeah, okay, so the Plasma Whip is level 3 now, and it also has changed colour. It's kind of nice, it's kind of fun. Pretty zany. Man, I am tired. It's nice to know that the nap I took earlier did not help at all. Oh, I'm timed. Crap. Yeah, I've got to pay attention. Just gonna keep using the Infector. I might use the Infector more than my other weapons at a certain point, just so that it levels up sooner so I can stop using it.
He's on a rampage, folks.
Whoop. Again, there is the Nitro or Inferno. Nitro is a different... I'm thinking of Crash Bandicoot when I say Nitro Crate. Inferno Crate, and I can use that and it'll allow me to kill the enemies quickly, but I only really use that as a last resort. Because I still want to defeat the enemies with my actual weapons. That sweet, sweet XP. Okay, we've got another time around. Yeah, my shock blaster is starting to take up a lot more shots to kill stuff. Man, I really like the announcer in this game. I don't know why. I think he's fun. Would want to be friends with him. Well, I don't know, his whole shtick might get old after a while though. I don't know, I haven't played this game for years and it's not gotten old yet, so... I actually have a bit of a story that I probably told already, but it's a lot more relevant now. Of how I first played this game, because I mean, because I knew about Ratchet Clank for about as long as I can remember, but I didn't know for the longest time that it was a series of games. I always thought it was just the one game, just the first one. So when I discovered that there were more games for me to try, I really wanted to play them. By the time I noticed this though, the games were already pretty old. Like, I noticed this when the PS3 was still a thing. But I still wanted to get the games on my PS2. It did mean that getting the games was pretty cheap though, because they were pretty old at the time. But I remember getting Ratchet Clank 2 for my birthday one year. I think it was when I turned 10? 10 or 11, something like that. And then I decided... I don't know how long it took me to start wanting to get Ratchet Clank 3 after 2. I didn't get Ratchet Clank 3 right away, like right after beating the second game. I think it was a bit of a gap. But I ended up wanting to get Ratchet Clank 3 real bad, and I ordered it online. I think I ordered it a pre-owned copy, because I would do that a lot. Just because it was cheaper and I didn't really... I never really had any problems doing that. I purchased a pre-owned copy of Ratchet Clank 3 on the PS2, and back then, like, ordering, because I was so impatient back then, and I still am to an extent, but when it came to ordering stuff online, I hated the wait, because if I ordered a game online, I'd have to wait a few days, and it was always really painful. These days, while I am still a little bit impatient, not to that extent. If I order something online, I'm like, okay, I'll just forget about it until it arrives, and I can pretty easily wait nowadays. But back then, like, waiting a few days for a game that I ordered was really painful and difficult for me. But I finally ordered Ratchet Clank 3, and it finally arrived one morning. It was like a weekend. It was a Saturday, I think. Something like that. So I excitedly got it. I think it just went through the mail slot, the post slot. I got it. I remember looking outside. The weather was nice, and I was like, what a great day for playing this new game I got. I was like having a very, like, blissful you know, moment just being like, wow, this is gonna be a good day because I got Ratchet Clank 3. I opened the box, I opened up the case, I looked inside the case, and there was no Ratchet Clank 3 in the case. It was actually a copy of Ratchet Clank 1, a game that I already owned. So my whole day was ruined, and I was incredibly upset. If something like that were to happen to me now, I'd just be kind of like, oh, that sucks. And then I'd probably just try ordering it again. But I was devastated because I waited for it and then it turned out to be no good. And I was so upset. So upset, in fact, that I was put off from ordering the game again. I didn't just simply try getting another copy of the game. I kind of just gave up for like months. I was just so upset that it I don't know. I feel like there's a name for it for stuff like that, but I was just like, no, I can't. It's too painful. So I kind of gave up on getting the game until months later. Eventually I tried getting the game again, and this time I actually got the game and I played it and I loved it, so I don't really know if there's a moral to that story.
Ladies and gentlemen, oh, and Helga, welcome to the Q-Force. You have been assembled here.
I sure hope there isn't a game named after that.
In your particular field. From Al's mastery of
Also, we got more returning characters from the first game. Because this game really wants you to remember that the first game exists.
Each of you has shown that you are worthy to wear the Q.
Honestly, I don't mind, because they brought back the most memorable characters to give them credit.
But like a rash on the galaxy's backside, he has flared up again. Our first mission will be to infiltrate the Doctor's top-secret base on planet Aquatos. Impossible,
that's always such a disappointing thing when you're younger. Yeah, especially because of how impatient I was.
My brilliant plan!
And I wasn't able to get games all that often, so I only spent like £5 getting it though, because the game was pretty old at that point, but still.
Please hold your questions until
it was the fact that I'd have to wait.
After infiltrating the base, our agents will split up. Clank will enter the base's ventilation
Also, I love this
system,
like crayon drawing
this banana-guided autonomous
plan
monkey
thing.
device, or the GAMD. Meanwhile, Ratchet will use his extensive knowledge of the Tyrannoid language and customs to win the trust of the bloodthirsty alien guards. Finally, our agents will make their way to Nefarious' personal office, steal everything that isn't nailed down,
It's not a bad
and
artist.
infiltrate the base completely undetected.
That's crazy!
But it just might work.
I like how he came up with this elaborate plan that involves just Ratchet and Clank and no one else on the team. Either he's an idiot or he still kind of resents Ratchet a little bit for the whole, you know, ruining his life thing. He's still sore about that. Maybe no moral to that story, but definitely relate, because that's happened to me before. Okay, I mean, I imagine it's happened to a few people, stuff like that happens. If it were to happen to me now, I would not care as much. I mean, I would care to kind of, but I don't really buy pre-owned copies of games all that much anymore. Yeah, I don't, because I would always buy off eBay, but these days I don't trust eBay as much, and I don't really buy pre-owned copies of games all that much anymore. It could be because I'm often buying a lot of any games that I'm really excited for. I'm probably going to get day one, and you can't really get pre-owned copies of games on day one. I'll only really get games day one if they're like really important to me. Yeah, instead of getting pre-owned copies of games, I kind of just look for deals elsewhere instead. Because, you know, when you get a pre-owned copy of a game, you never know. The case might be broken or scratched, or the disc might be scratched or broken. Also, it's harder to get pre-owned copies of games when physical games are starting to die out slowly.
Now where were we? From the moment I touched down, I knew the
You
situation
know, I get
called
digital
for a
games
head-on
sometimes.
assault. Without hesitation, I rushed to do heroic battle with the monstrous amoeboid horde.
Okay, so we've got another Quark vid comic. This is episode 2 out of 5. You actually have to do all 5 of these in order to beat the game, but the game doesn't really push you into doing them as soon as you get a new one. There will be a point where you will have to do all 5, where the game is kind of like, hey, you gotta do all these. So it's better to probably do these as soon as you get them to avoid having to do them all in bulk near the end of the game. Although you can do that if that's what you prefer. If you prefer to just do all these in one go later on.
Now for the fancy stuff. Press X while I'm in the air.
But it's nice that the game doesn't force you to do them as soon as you get them, and you can, you know, hold them off for a while. I don't know what the general consensus on these mini-games, these like side-scrolling mini-games are in this game, but I personally like them. I think they're fun little distractions that shake things up. I like 2D platformers. And as far as 2D platformers go, this is super basic, but you know, it's okay to shut your brain off. Also, this level is themed around Blackwater City, which is a planet from the first game. Again, this game really loves its references to the first one. Yeah, this is one of the more iconic planets from the first game. And, spoiler alert, it also shows up as a planet that you can go to as Ratchet later in this game as well. Which is cool. Although most of the returning planets from the first game that you can go to in this one are usually just reserved for Warzone missions, not really planets that you can actually explore and look around. It's really just like the new planets that are ones that are fully explorable. No, but that doesn't go for all of them. Anyway, I want to try and get all 100 tokens to get the most amount of bolts, and the titanium bolt as well. I was thinking about my story I just told a second ago about, you know, ordering Ratchet Clank 3 and then not getting it. And I was trying to think if maybe there is some kind of secret moral to that story. I thought for a sec there maybe the moral is to learn patience, but I didn't learn patience from that scenario. If anything, it made my patience even worse. So, you know, that's not the moral. Because I didn't learn anything from that experience. I guess I learned to be a bit more cautious of ordering pre-owned copies of games, so... Yeah, I guess that's better than nothing. Well, I don't know, how was I supposed to know that the game would have the wrong disc in it? It was not like it was listed anywhere on the page. Although I was curious if the person I bought it from purposefully put the wrong game in there, or if it was a simple mistake. I imagine it was likely a mistake. That they just had the wrong disc in the case. Because, like, who does that? It's kind of a stupid, like, who would do that on purpose? It's just kind of an arse thing to do. For no reason. So it's probably a mistake. give them the benefit of the doubt. Ow. Also, Ben, you redeemed a hydrate and a posture check. Good idea. Okay, hydrated. And posture has been checked. Thank you for checking. I gotta fly, but take care and have fun, Pixel. Sure thing, Ben. Thank you for stopping by. It was a real pleasant surprise. Hope you have a good rest of your day. And be safe and all that. Oh crap, I'm missing a token. Uh-ohs. I'm missing 10 tokens, so I'm probably missing one of the jumbo ones. I don't know if I can backtrack and find it. It might be at a point of no return. Don't know where I would have left it. Whoa, careful. Yeah, take care there, Ben. I don't see the token yet. Whoops! So I went down here and I got the one that was down there. Did I miss it earlier in the level? I can't really backtrack, so I'm just going to restart. So yeah, because I was just missing 10 of them, it probably means I missed one of the red tokens that are worth 10. Also, there is a bot in the chat. That is disgusting. I mean, no offense to bots. Like, I'm good with bots. Like I think bots are, like, if you're a robot, then, you know, I don't discriminate against robots, but I don't appreciate robots who try and sell me stuff. Who, like, try and sell followers. Like, that has nothing to do with you being a bot. That's just something that nobody wants, so... Does anyone ever actually do that? Like, when a bot has, like, a link or something that's like, do you want to buy followers? Like, does anyone do that? Like, I guess... Oh crap, am I stuck? I guess no shame if anyone does that. If it works, but I don't really want to do that. Well, first of all, it kind of sounds like a scam. So that's problem number one. And second of all, I don't know, it just seems kind of disingenuous. Assuming that you could actually buy followers and get new followers, which is possible. Perhaps that is a thing that you can actually do. I don't know, it just seems kind of wrong. I feel like building up your audience yourself is part of the fun. But I don't know, if you're not into it, if you're not interested in having fun, then, you know, sucks for you, I guess. Anyway, I don't think I've found the missing token. Oh, it might be up here, hold on. There it is. Okay, that might be the one I was missing, because that was pretty deviously hidden. I feel like I'm going pretty fast in my subtle speed run. I wonder if people do these in speedruns. Well, you have to do these in order to beat the game. Unless there's some kind of glitch or skip that allows you to get through without doing these, but I don't think so, because one of these, the fourth and fifth vid comics that you play have coordinates to planets that I think you need to go to in order to progress the story. And I don't think you can simply just skip planets like that. Not where, like, plot stuff happens. So I wonder how speedrunners do these. I wonder if there's any tricks to speedrunning these vid comics. I sure do like the JPEG background. Sorry, don't mean to nitpick. I mean, I wasn't nitpicking, I was mainly just pointing it out. It was probably less noticeable on PS2 with the lower resolution. Okay, I think I've got all the tokens this time. Just need to get these last few. There we go. This one does not end with a boss. Not all of them do. This one is simply just get to the goal. And then listen to this beautiful noise. Ah, that is sweet music.
His amoeboid army defeated, Dr. Nefarious had no choice but to flee
The
Blackwater City in
amoeboids.
disgrace.
You've not seen the last of me. I will have my vengeance.
Oh yeah, so these vid comics also kind of give you Dr. Nefarious' backstory a little bit as well. He used to be an organic creature.
He and Quark would meet again, and sooner than he realized. For a true hero like Captain Quark will stop at nothing in the name of justice.
What? I held my breath.
So yeah, Dr. Nefarious is a robot, but he used to be an organic life form. And then he was converted into robot. In the movie, and also the movie tie-in game, Dr. Nefarious is a organic creature right from the get-go. And then there's kind of like a post-credit scene where he's like robotified, as if they were going to do a sequel of some kind, but that never happened because the movie was not very well received. Well, I don't know. I don't know if the movie was very well received, it just didn't do very well. Because it was very... meh. Like, even if you're a Ratchet and Clank fan, I don't think the movie is really going to do it much for you. There have been better movie tie-in movies since, so... Anyway, we're going to Planet Aquatos. I think this planet has some pretty cool music. It's kind of given me, it kind of gives like a secret agent vibes a little bit, which makes sense because we're doing like a secret operation.
Call. Oh no.
Clank, Bubby, you're killing me.
Excuse me?
I'm trying to make a picture.
Oh my god, Clank is so
Mr.
reflective.
Birdshot Star is nowhere to be found.
I am currently occupied with a mission of galactic security.
Right. I get it. You want a bigger trailer? Done. You want a daily oil massage? Done. I need my star on the set pronto, capiche?
I can't help but notice that his eye is bugging out.
Breaking up.
You know, I can see you, weasel boy.
Oh yeah? How about now?
What happened to the subtitles?
He'll figure something out. We've got work to do.
Did the subtitles turn off? I don't think I turned them off. Are they just not working for that scene? Yeah. Fair enough, whatever. Okay, we got a water planet, hence the name. Quite a shocker, I know. Honestly, I'm kind of surprised it took them this long to do an underwater base level. This is giving me like kinda aquarium park from Sonic Colors a little bit, only less whimsical. But underwater bases are cool. Okay, there's a ship already here. Yeah, so fun fact about this elevator that takes you down to this lower area, it's not a loading zone, surprisingly. Like, you step on this little elevator, hold on, and it takes you back and forth to your ship in here. You don't actually have to use the elevator, which is kind of weird. Which is funny. Obviously, it's faster, but you can actually go down this tunnel on foot if you want. It's slower, but you can. So it's not like this is a loading zone. It's literally just there just for the looks. You can just go down without it. Which I always thought was funny.
Skid, what are you doing here?
My code name is Shadow Dude, bro. Black Ops are my speciality. I figured you guys could
Shadow?
Thanks, Shadow Dude, but I think we've got this one covered.
Alright, I'll just take my hacker and go back to the ship.
Hacker? Oh, well, you know, on second thought, I think we'd like you to join the mission, Shadow Dude.
Awesome! This is gonna be sick!
Ah, yes, the hacker. This game's hacking gadget. It's actually funny, but we don't actually get to use it ourselves until a bit later. It kind of gets introduced here, but we don't actually get to use it. But yes, the hacker is this game's hacking gadget, and it's kind of not that fun. I mean, I've never found any of the hacking minigames fun exactly. They're just kind of like, they're just kind of there. I kind of like the puzzle ones from the first game though a little bit. They're kind of fun. We have to direct light beams and stuff. And then Ratchet Clank 2 had 2 hacking gadgets. And those ones are pretty fun as well, actually. This one is just kind of meh. I think the problem with the hacking minigame in this game is that it's a bit... It drags on a little bit. But we'll get there. He's so tall. The meter on the side isn't displaying my suck cannon ammo for some reason. I think it's gotten bugged. Again, I'm playing the PS3 versions and they're a bit buggy. Yeah, the suck cannon is supposed to be displaying my the amount of ammo I have on the side of the screen, but it's not doing that. It's kind of weird. There ain't no way in hell that the hacking minigame he did that quickly. It's interesting. You don't really get a lot of escort missions in Ratchet & Clank games. I mean, this isn't really an escort mission because Skid is invulnerable. He can't die. He's just kind of there. I think they just put him here just so that you can... Because, you know, the idea is that you're part of this team, and I think they're just trying to sell that idea. Even though Ratchet is definitely the one doing all the work. I don't know, I like Skid. I think he's fun. He's nice enough. He's just a bit of an idiot, but that's okay, because most people in this game are kind of an idiot.
You haven't forgotten how to swim, have you? Press square to dive and X to rise. Press harder to dive or rise faster. Your helmet will provide oxygen. At least, in theory.
Yeah. I am actually wearing an air helmet, but because I'm wearing the Ratchet 1 skin, it's not showing up, but I am wearing a helmet. Also, we still have the Hydro Pack by default, which allows us to hold R1 to swim faster. So, yay, Clank gets a bit more use there. Even though I'm pretty sure this is the only planet in the game that has underwater segments. And I don't think the Hydro Pack is ever needed. Like, it's slightly faster. Well, not slightly, it's like twice as fast. But you don't have to swim fast. Like in the first game, you needed the hydro pack to swim through fast, like, currents. But you never really need the hydro pack for anything. Kind of like the first game is kind of the only game where the hydro pack is ever needed. The hydro pack is in the second and third games, and I think it's in Tools of Destruction as well. But you never need it. It's just kind of there as a convenience option if you're swimming. Yeah, the extra Clank packs aren't ever really needed. Like, you get the helipack, because it allows you to glide and high jump and stretch jump, and that's nice. And then, even if the thruster pack is a thing, it almost always just does the same thing, and it's never really needed. In the first game, the thruster pack was different because it was the, it allowed you to hit special switches. But the first game is the only game that really does that. Oh, except for the movie tie-in game, actually. They actually made the thruster pack a required gadget in that game. Probably because that was the case in the first game. It was kind of like it was based on the first game, so... Good. Spitting Hydra is really powerful. Oh, there's a titanium bolt under there.
Awesome.
Oh, hello. Couldn't be bothered to bring out a weapon for that one. Okay, my Infector is falling behind in the XP department, so I should probably be using it a bit more. I think the ×2 multiplier crate, it's possible that the tutorial lady said so, but I think it doesn't just multiply bolts but experience as well. Maybe. So I should probably keep that in mind. But I've hit this thing with like 3 infector shots and it's not dying. Okay, back underwater we go. Yeah, I think this is the only planet in the game that has swimming. Swimming is something that gets kind of phased out after a while. It's kind of a running theme throughout this series where some stuff just kind of goes eventually. You just kind of phase stuff out very gradually. And swimming is one of those things. I think Tools of Destruction has swimming, but I think past that point, none of the other games really have swimming. At least not underwater swimming. I think, again, the movie tie-in game also has swimming, but that's because the movie's based on the first game, so the movie tie-in game has a lot of similar stuff to the first game. Because it's kind of like a half remake, but not really. So... you should just assume when I say none of the other games really have so-and-so, you should assume that I'm probably not counting the movie game. It's kind of in its own separate bubble anyway. I don't think the movie tie-in game is bad. I've always kind of been a bit of a defender for the movie game. The movie itself I don't really care about. People can bash it if they want, I don't really mind. Like, I don't really think it's that great a movie either. But the game I think is solid. The story is kind of butt because it's based on the movie. But the gameplay is solid. It's a solid Ratchet & Clank game. So, you know, as far as movie tying games go, it's pretty solid, so... Yes, we got a sewer crystal. Fresh from the amoeboid's bowels. Which sure is a sentence that I just said. Oh my god, that was a satisfying explosion. Jeez, you are tall. He's like 2 Ratchets tall. You stacked 2 Ratchets on top of each other, they'd be about his height. He doesn't look that tall in the cutscenes. No, he doesn't. He looks way shorter in the cutscenes.
We are not alone.
That might be a PS3 glitch.
Hey, dudes, I forgot to feed my goldfish. I'll see you back at the...
Also, is that the guy? Is that
Well,
Mr. Cognito?
Slim Cognito? What are you doing down here?
I had a small run-in with the cops concerning a suck cannon upgrade that was mistakenly sold to a minor. I swear the kid looked 18. Anyway, I needed to find...
That's probably a joke I didn't get when I was younger. When he said minor, I thought he said like... When he said he sold a suck cannon upgrade to a minor, I thought by minor he meant like, you know, with the guys with a pickaxe. I didn't realize that he meant minor as in like child. Anyway, so yeah, Slim Cognito sells you weapons in this game. In the first game, he sold you weapon mods by trading in your platinum bolts. The big bolts in this game have a different function. So instead, he sells you weapons from Ratchet & Clank 2. Which is really cool, and if you have the save file for Ratchet & Clank 2 and you own those weapons in that game, then you scan your memory card or whatever and you get them for free. Not even a discount, you just get them for free. Have you once owned a Megacorp weapon and lost it? Good news, Megacorp will replace some of those lost and stolen weapons for free. Select this option to check for your hard disk drive for Ratchet & Clank 2 save data. Cool. So as long as you have these weapons in your Ratchet & Clank 2 save, you'll be able to just get them for free. And that's really cool, especially because these weapons also level up and upgrade, just like all the other weapons in the game. Because Ratchet & Clank 2 also had a similar feature that allowed you to purchase weapons from the first game for free if you had the save file for them. But the downside was that those weapons don't level up and upgrade, so you don't really have too much reason to use them if you're interested in leveling up weapons, like I am. So I never used them, but thankfully in this game, not only do they level up, but they are also reworked around this game's level up system. So instead of just leveling up once like they did in the second game, they level up 5 times just like all the other weapons in this game, which is great. I love that they did that. So I'm actually going to add the lava gun here, and I'm gonna plop the mini turret glove here. And I'll stick the Tira guys here as well. Is there seriously no way to just remove stuff off of my quick select? Because I kind of want to get rid of some stuff or whatever. So yeah, the first 2 Megacorp weapons from Ratchet & Clank 2 we get is the lava gun and the mini turret glove. The mini turret glove I'm kind of whatever about, but the lava gun's pretty fun. It allows you to shoot a string of lava. One downside to the lava gun in Ratchet & Clank 2 is that once it leveled up, it kind of got worse. Instead of shooting out a string of lava, it just shot out like lava-y rocks or whatever. Which was lame. It essentially got worse when it leveled up. In this game they actually fixed it so that it doesn't do that, which is cool. And then the mini turret glove just allows you to set up, well, miniature turrets that shoot enemies for you. For a limited time. They'll disappear after a while. But it's fun. Weapons where you have to like lay out mines and stuff like that aren't usually my cup of tea, but the mini turret glove is good enough.
We must split up here.
Yeah, well, I guess it's time to put on the Tira guys and go meet my new pals.
Good luck. I will assist you if I can.
Oh, I didn't realize the subtitles translated what Ratchet said.
It was nice knowing you.
Whoa, that's cool. Oh, neat. Okay. I've played this game many a times, but this is the first time I've ever played this game with subtitles turned on. The reason I put subtitles on is because sometimes I like to talk over cutscenes, and this way people can still follow along if they're watching. I actually never knew that the Tyrannese language that Ratchet speaks was translated if you have subtitles on. I never knew that. So I actually know what he's saying now. That's so cool. It's not something I think that's ever really used outside of that cutscene, I think, though. Maybe in a couple others. Anyway, this is our first Clank section of the game. Clank sections are never all that great, but I will say that they do improve with each game. Also, for the first time, Clank has his own weapon.
No monkeying around. Monkeying.
Yes, very proud of you.
We are on an important mission.
Clank, that little sucker will chase bananas any place you shoot him. Give it a
Yeah,
try.
so Clank has his own weapon. It doesn't kill stuff, though. It's more of a gadget, really. It's the Brigand, which is an acronym for something I don't remember what it was. But it just allows you to shoot bananas. And then Monkey will go get him. That's the extent of it. But yeah, this is the first Clank section of the game, and Clank sections are never all that great, but they do improve with each game, so... Ratchet and Clank: A Crack in Time, that game actually perfects the Clank segments to the point where they're actually enjoyable to play. But yeah, this is pretty good. Clank's control is a little bit better now, he runs a bit faster now, which is nice. Okay, now we got the Tira guys with Ratchet. So yeah, the big thing with this disguise gadget is that you can use it to do this little DDR minigame to talk to the Tyrannoids. This is really compelling. Excuse me, good sir, would you kindly open that door for me? It is an honor and a privilege, my Tyrannoid brother. Wow, I'm like shorter compared to everybody else. I'm just a little guy. I guess Ratchet himself is a little guy as well, so... I have to deliver a message from Dr. Nefarious. Also, he's looking straight at me. You look suspicious. Who are you? Is everyone carrying around IDs? We don't exactly have pockets. So, I don't like that Tyrannoid is just looking straight at me, at the camera. I have a little servant of Dr. Nefarious, certainly not a Lombax. Very well, one can't be too careful. I think that's a reasonable amount of suspicion. Up, down, triangle, square, left, circle, X. Don't tell anybody, but I hid 5 bolts under this girder. Haha, sucker, it's all mine now. I like how he says that instead of, like, can you lift this girder for me? He just makes something up right away. Honestly, probably a good idea. More likely to work, I'd say. Isn't he going to be a bit suspicious when there's no 5 bolts? Okay, I think I need to use the begammed. There we go. This away.
Look, Gadgebots! I love those little guys.
Oh,
To
yes.
give them command, just hold triangle and select a command with the left
Yeah, so the Gadgebots are back. You know, Clank unleashing his inner Olimar. They work basically the same as they did in the previous games. Although in Ratchet and Clank 2 they were called Megabots or something because they were owned by Megacorp, even though they were exactly the same. So a little bit sketch. But yeah, they function the same way as they did in the previous games. You can have them follow you, wait, enter, or attack. Nothing too crazy about that. But now we have Monkey as well. They really thought, how can we make the Clank gameplay more enjoyable? We should probably add a monkey. Give him a monkey. I'm saying this like I have a problem with it, but I don't really. It's fine. Okay, I'll get on the elevator. Why are they not following me? There we go. I'll throw a banana. And then enter the thing. This guy's getting a little bit stuck. Hold on. There we go. I guess we'll ditch the monkey then. Okay, some more DDR. Up, square, down, circle, left, square, right, X. I'm here to repair the hollow bit in the break room. It's about time, we missed yesterday's Secret Agent Clank episode. I do want to play Secret Agent Clank at some point. I've never played it before, I don't think. I think I did briefly, actually. But I don't think I ever beat it or anything, or even got that far, so... And they added it onto the PS5 a while back, so I wanted to give that a go as part of my little Ratchet and Clank marathon that I've been doing. Would you mind extending the bridge, sir? You have no clearance. How do I know I can trust you? You're not very trusting, are you? You're right to not be, but still. Because I'll give you my sister's phone number, and I'm definitely not a Lombax. Oh, why didn't you say so? Damn. These guys are stupid.
Well, what took you so long?
Clank, what
Also, I like the continuity that Ratchet still has the wrench that he got from the second game.
Well, you can give me a hand searching Dr.
He
Nefarious'
didn't go back
office.
to using his old one.
Oh, let's see it.
Which is nice. There are no wrench upgrades in this game, by the way. You just
This guy's your
stay with the one you got.
fan.
That is rather disturbing. I have downloaded an encrypted star map. Perhaps Al can decode it.
Great. Let's get back to the Phoenix.
Yeah, so Ratchet's wrench is the final wrench upgrade that you get from the second game. In the second game, you can get 2 wrench upgrades. This game doesn't have any wrench upgrades. You just get this one, and that's it. The wrench upgrades was like a nice idea, but you have like the whole point of the game is that you're killing stuff with over-the-top weaponry. You don't really need your wrench to be powerful. Because a majority of players are only really going to use the wrench for destroying crates and stuff, so it's not really worth having more powerful wrench. But I don't know. I like the idea of getting ones just for the aesthetic purposes of it, just because they look nice. But that's not really important. It makes sense that no other game really has wrench upgrades, aside from, I think Size Matters has wrench upgrades, but it works a bit differently in that game. And hey look, the plumber's back.
Whoa, deja vu.
Oh, it's you two again. Right on schedule. This here is one of the nastiest, smelliest sewers in the galaxy. Most guys wouldn't set foot in a place like this, but me? I just can't get enough.
Right. Well, we were just passing through. You can get back to whatever you were doing.
He's probably here to break the fourth wall again.
I'll pay you for them in bolts. I'm making something special for the missus.
Sewer crystals. Uh-huh. We'll keep that in mind.
What are we standing on currently? And do I want to know? I'm just going to say it's sand, just so I can sleep. What we have here is a crystal field, as I like to say. The crystal fields were... I don't know if that's actually officially what they're called, but that's what I call them. Crystal fields were introduced in Ratchet Clank 2. That game had a couple of them. Also, I can get a new weapon. Yeah, Ratchet Clank 2 had a couple crystal fields. Basically, it's a field with a bunch of crystals, and then you collect them and you can trade them in for bolts. This game does it a little bit differently. Instead of having a crystal field, it's more of a crystal labyrinth, where you're in a series of tunnels where the crystals are scattered in. So, you know, appreciate them for trying something different. I don't know if I prefer this over the fields, but yeah, still get a lot of money from it. Also, we got the Agents of Doom, which is an extension of the Glove of Doom from the first game. You throw a little thing, and a bunch of little baby bots come out to kill stuff with you. And unlike the first game, obviously these ones actually upgrade as you use it, so there's that. Not really my favourite weapon, to be honest. Like, they're pretty cute, and this one is shoving me as we speak. But they're pretty cute, and I like them, but not really my cup of tea typically, but it's whatever. Anyway, so what we're supposed to do now is we can leave or we can go into the crystal sewer field to get some extra bolts, and I think I'd like to do that actually, just because having more bolts is good.
Ah, fresh from the bowels of a king amoeboid.
Yeah, I traded the ones that I already had. There are 99 left. I'm actually going to leave it here for today. I usually would probably like to finish a planet, and I basically have, because we just have to leave and then we're done. But I would like to do the crystal field before leaving. But I would like to stop the stream here for today, just because, well, I've been streaming for a decent amount of time, about 3.5 hours, give or take. That's a fairly decent length. But I am just a bit tired today. So yeah, I'll be ending it here for today. Sorry if I wasn't feeling too energetic this time around. Again, I've been feeling tired, so. But hey, I'm happy to have started this playthrough. I like this game a lot, so yeah, I'm happy to keep making my way through the Ratchet Clank games. It's one of my favorite series, so I'm always happy to play it. So, but thank you for joining me. If you did, if you joined me on the VOD, you are also appreciated. No doubt about that. I'll be streaming next on, when is it? Sunday probably, for some more Final Fantasy VII Rebirth hard mode. And then this will be my Friday playthrough for the time being. Ratchet Clank games aren't that long. I think Ratchet Clank 2 took me 3 streams to finish, I think. So this will probably be about the same, maybe 4, depending on how long they are. Like if the remaining streams are about this long, maybe about 4. But we'll see, we'll have to cross that bridge when we get to it. Thanks again for joining me. I might stream on Wednesday next week, we don't know, it's a bonus day. Check my schedule if you want to know that stuff. And yeah, I should be all good. So yeah, thanks again for joining me. With all that being said, I hope you'll have a wonderful rest of your day. Stay safe, and I hope to see you all again very soon. Take care. Bye-bye.